Oh God, I'm not ready.
We're all gonna die.
Oh goodness
Hello.
gracious,
Hello.
it's happening. Wait, no, nobody look at the
Oh,
screen. What's up?
Hello. Hello. Here
Hello.
we are.
At the end of the
Professional.
world.
At the
I'll do
end
the
of the
BLM
world as we
thing.
know it.
Do
Yes.
you want me to do it? I'll do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it. Jump on in.
As we've done since it's happened at the beginning of the stream, we're going to talk a little bit about Breonna Taylor. Somehow there has still been no criminal charges towards the officers specifically for her death. There has been a single criminal charge for wanton endangerment for the shots that were fired into other apartments that did not result in any deaths. Not only that, but the jury recently came out and anonymously filed a lawsuit against the judge who basically didn't actually allow them to file charges for those things. It didn't come up. The judge didn't allow the jury to rule on it. And then came out and made several press conferences saying that this is what the jury has decided. And so now they're suing them. And the transcript will be made public for the continuing trials that will keep happening. So keep your eyes on that. And use the exclamation point BLM, exclamation point donate, I think, to donate to any kind of charity or support for Black Lives Matter. And yeah, it's still kind of bananas that we have to talk about this every single week because there's still no criminal charges for her death. And there's been minimal change. I mean, the bare minimum, which is keep your body cams on when you're going to go raid a house of all things. So, just ridiculous.
Thank you, Ava. No truer words spoken, just ridiculous. All right. With that, we are going to do a little bit of a series recap because this actually might be our last Spire game for this arc. Depending on how things go tonight, we might need another one. I don't know, but it's possible this will be it. So, with that in mind, I just wanted to catch anybody who might have missed something or hasn't been with us since the beginning up because how exciting that this could be our series finale. So, this game started off with our crew of ministers, which is, people who belong to the ministry of our hidden mistress, which was basically a freedom fighter / terrorist, depending on your point of view, organization working in the city of Spire to liberate it from the imperial control of the High Elves. And they were given the instructions by their kind of mysterious cell leader to show initiative in order to stop the building that they all live in Derelictus, one of the poorest, most forgotten, rundown parts of Spire, from being demolished by the new High Elf landlord who had only recently bought the property. After much ado, so many things, finding out more about this mysterious Lord Faisal, eventually traveling up Spire to Amaranth to meet him, Kelvy turning out to be infected by this bug thing called Vis, which is also, it just so happens to be one of the other kind of key, interested parties in the property. And additionally, there were cracks in the basement where the clutch, which is under Minrai and other midwives' protection for the clutch, cracks in the basement that was seeping unreality into the building. Possibly why, and eventually we find out definitely why, the Vis are interested in it. So far, it doesn't seem like that was Faisal's interest. With help from their neighbors, including Mama Luke's, Amandu, Marguerite, the crew investigated, found things out, planted seeds, blew things up. Well, there was no literal blowing up, I don't think, but we did kill some people. We did take over Harmonious Properties. We did arrange for, via blackmail, Faisal to no longer have an interest in demolishing the building. But in so doing, Kelvy also compromised his alter ego Lord Orin Wades in Moonlight, who had presented himself as a high elf to, which is super illegal, to Faisal. And now Faisal wants Orin Wades in Moonlight's blood or something for in exchange for as payment for the blackmail. And last session, did I miss anything like super important? We went to New Heaven. We saw goats.
The
Very important.
goat
we saw,
uprising. with the
yes,
opposable
there
thumb.
was a possible compromising of the crew via Hennis's former or current unknown patron, Lady
Oh, that's
Hellion.
right.
Oh yeah, they're
Um,
reading his thoughts and his dreams and other terrible shit.
Yeah,
Who
and that
is
was
a
the last.
human?
That was the last thing that happened in our last session.
Mhm.
yes, it was.
But she's not a high elf.
Hellion
Which-
is.
No, she's a human, right?
We don't know that, but
But I
we
mean,
know
like in
that.
character, we don't know that.
over the table, you know
Yeah.
that. In character, you don't.
Over the table,
But,
Rachel
like, you
definitely
know,
didn't know that.
As,
So
as far as like recaps go, that felt important.
Yes.
yeah. Well, I think
Um,
she said she hadn't recapped last episode just
yes,
yet.
we had not.
It was up to
recapped.
last episode.
Yes. So, the crew planned. They made their plan on what they're going to do about Lord Faisal needing to get his hands on Orin Wades in Moonlight, and have now made their way to the middle of Spire in the gardens, where they intend to bring Faisal to them via Minrai's mysterious midwife magic. And you know, they've got plans A through C, D, E, F.
No,
And we'll
it goes
see what
A
happens.
to D.
It goes
A to D.
A to D. So let's see what happens tonight. And with that, I will let the players recap last session and then get everyone's stress levels. And we'll roll for Kelvy's bug infection, and then we will begin possibly the last episode / session.
Before we start,
yes.
can we take like a group screenshot?
Sure. Everybody look at your cameras and smile.
Everybody smile. It's a group screenshot. 3,
okay?
2, 1. Okay, I did it. Thank you.
Thank you.
For me, I'm just gonna enjoy that.
Beautiful.
You're going in my special box.
I was gonna say be going in your scrapbook.
Yeah.
Well, whether you wanted it or not, you're all now in Ava's special box.
Yes.
She has
My
a little bit of
lifelong
each of our
goal is
souls now.
complete.
Yes.
All right,
Um,
players, what happened last session?
So it started off with me grabbing a whole bunch of like last second supplies, masks, drugs, etc. from our apartment, and then we immediately made our way downstairs, found a big fucking crowd of people, and all of us ended up trying to figure out what was going on here. Some of us went immediately down to Mother Marguerite. Turns out that the whole crowd was there for the reasons of the fact that they were being informed our apartment was no longer being condemned.
Gosh.
We made a huge freaking mess of this scene.
Did we make a mess of
I
it?
did. It was
It was one
that
person,
was me. Finn.
and then this person tried
You can say
so
it. You can say it was
hard,
me.
so hard
It was so
to
good.
utilize their reputation to fix it, and instead fucked up so badly. It's fine.
And this
We-
person hardly even tried, and it worked.
I hate
We
you.
fucked
You're the
up
worst.
Andrew
real
following
hard.
up with the constant, incredible double crits. Just
and Rachel continually failing, like always.
Yeah, so I found that it was because of, our apartment no longer being condemned. Pulled one of the flyers down and met up with Mother Marguerite, attempted to celebrate, was immediately shot down. And we had a nice long conversation with her where we had to kind of keep everything we were doing under wraps. Minrai did an absolutely amazing job of keeping everything under the table and basically telling Marguerite that she needs to trust us so that she doesn't get in trouble should our goals fail. And then we made our way up Spire and pulled a miraculous, amazing, just downright amazing man with a gun stunt. And
How does he do it?
Yeah. Oh, but before we get to that, I do need to mention that when Hennis rolled the double crit, Ulrich was feeling things about that. Nevertheless,
I forgot about that. Yes, last session we had our first little group crush emerge.
Yeah. So that I can't let that slide. So then we made our way up to the gardens. Amazing man with a gun stunt ended up being someone that is like same gender, same height, same approximate weight as Mr. Moonlight / Kelvy. And then it just became our group's decision that we needed to kind of dress him up to be like Mr. Moonlight after having killed him.
Which was another Hennis critical success, right?
Yep.
Stabbing him. How do you like perfectly as an assassin would?
Yes, professionally.
It's really such bullshit that Andrew cheats his dice so much.
No, see, it's only if it's narratively amusing. Because after you do terrible, I can do good. But then if I'm rolling resist, they're going to read my mind.
That you've never passed a resist roll.
Yeah, well, you never passed resist, and I've never passed compel. So there you go. I did drink Ulrich's blood.
You did drink my blood. Yeah, I gave you a
So
vial
I
of my
didn't
blood.
know if you technically gave me a vial of somebody's blood, and it was either yours or Minrai's. And I just drank it, and then for funsies, I tested it out when we were going up Spire. And I think we freaked out the Gutterkin, but I was like right behind you, and it was great.
Worth it.
Yeah, and so at this point, we are at Harmonious Properties with the dead body, having dressed it up. Or I don't know if we've actually done that yet. But I have also given those members of our party masks such that hopefully Hennis won't be identified as being Hennis. I don't care if I'm identified as being me, but you know, we've got that kind of sort of hopefully covered. And then in a unfortunate last moment, Hennis failed a resist check and and is now experiencing yet another terrible headache, which I don't think we know the fallout of just yet, if this is going to be something that has a similar consequence to before. But anyway, that's where we left off.
Okay, thank you.
If we're going to get started, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Like, right there, jumping in the moment.
Oh, well, I need stress levels and stuff first.
Okay,
so
let's do that.
You want to do that first? Okay.
Yeah.
I have my papers with your stress. Minrai, you are at the top. No stress?
I have 0 stress, and the only resistance stress that I have is to reputation. I have a single
Nice
mark there, so I'm set.
Barnabas?
To die.
0.
Nice. Rick?
1.
Elvie?
Yeah, 0, but that's gonna change.
You do still your temporary bond to Faisal. What does your temporary bond say in terms like your ability that gives you those temporary bonds about when they expire?
Sure.
Does it say like until the end of the session or like end of the day?
That would be from... Okay, so when you publish a glowing article, betrayal, somebody you've recently spoken with, you gain them as a temporary bond. It doesn't say anything about longevity
Let me
of that.
check what the book says about temporary bond. It does not say... Oh, wait. If a bond is temporary... fallout when it's removed. Okay. Well, I think we can safely say that it's been like more than a day and you've had this other interaction where you blackmailed him. I think it's safe to say that
Right.
Faisal is not feeling especially bonded to you. So we're going to
That feels right.
we're going to remove that temporary bond. It only had 1 stress, so there's no way for it to take
Sure.
fallout, so we don't have to worry about that.
Mhm.
And let me roll for, what's your count on this?
It's just a +1.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
So you are safe in terms of becoming another bug, or more bug. Hennis, stress.
1 stress.
Okay. That is it for pre-game things. So, Hennis, take it away.
Right. So I feel a familiar pounding headache come on, it sounds like.
Yes.
And if I focus, can I hear that same voice again?
Yes, you can.
Can I repeat what it's saying out loud to those who know occult magic?
Yeah. So here's what we're going to say. You can roll investigate, and occult.
How about something I have?
The
I mean,
only
if someone, like, presumably someone here has a cult, so they would be able to like help out, right?
well, that's a success at a cost. I don't think any of you know what's going on, and the domain of occult, that is for some like Hennis to be able to repeat and say it in such a way that it's actually right getting it across. So I don't think that would really quite work. However, that is a success on your 1d10. You do take stress from this.
Okay, then I have another question.
Yes.
So before the last session ended, I did my Saint of Last Stands, which is where once per session I can declare a room I'm standing in under my protection. While in there, until you leave the room, any stress that your allies suffer to blood or mind is reduced by 1 dice size.
Okay.
I can only do it once per session, but it lasts until I leave the room. Is it still up?
Yes.
Okay, then keep that in mind.
Okay. Great. Then I will roll some mind stress for you.
But it doesn't apply to me, so don't really keep it in mind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Just my allies.
You take 2 mind stress from the kind of effort that it takes to focus through this pain enough to start repeating the words out loud. But you are successfully able to do that. And what's interesting is as you are doing it, the voice keeps up for a minute and then kind of stutters and stops.
Hey.
And yes. For those of you who have the occult domain, I'll come back to you, Ennis. For those of you who have occult, who is that? That's Minrai, Kelvy. Anybody else? Okay. If you have occult, you can roll investigation and occult to try to make sense of to see like if you know what this thing is that.
So would that be 3d10 if we have all of those?
If you have all of them, it's 3d10.
Boom.
Great.
And you're only letting one person roll this, or both?
Both can roll.
Oh well, someone got a 10, so that's.
Yes.
pretty
I
awesome.
got a 10.
All right, so Minrai critical
I got an 8.
succeeded and Kelvy succeeded with no stress taken. So both of you,
I can inflict stress because I have a 10, right?
you
I am-
can.
Yes.
Inflicted on the person that's causing.
I inflict stress on Faisal.
No,
Thanks.
it doesn't work like that. Here's what I think would be feasible. You can
Yeah.
either take that success as a more narrative rather than combat related success, or you can be able to tell what's going on. Like, I think Hennis has relayed that this has happened, right?
Mhm.
You realize what Hennis is doing and are able to essentially reverse the spell and kind of send that psychic pain back toward the person, whoever is doing this.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Or can I get like a glimpse at their thoughts? Maybe because it's like a thought reading thing, right?
A
If you
reverse occlumency. Yeah.
reverse occlumency, I think if you want to do that, it will be another roll. Because
Sure.
that is a separate action. But first, let me resolve for Kelvy. You are listening to these words, and you're hearing, and you recognize this as. It's interesting because last time that Hennis told you about this, he told you that it seemed like they were going through memories. And as you're listening, you're like, that's almost what this incantation should do. But this one doesn't seem like it's a memory related one. It seems like it's like an active watching one. Like this person is attempting to see through Hennis's eyes right now rather than go through his memories, which is what the previous one seemed to be doing based on what he recounted to you. So Minrai, you can roll
I
fight
can roll. I have fight.
and occult.
I have that one too.
So 3d10.
Well, blam.
Yes.
Oh my
Nice.
Another crit.
Another
Nice.
critical success. Okay. You are listening. Kelvy kind of mutters a few
Oh.
things to you about like what the spell seems to be. And that is just enough to give you the edge on this person. And you kind of stare into Hennis's eyes. It's actually really hard for Hennis, like, for you to like keep your eyes open because you're
Let
like
me see
this,
those
yeah, you've got this like searing pain in your head, and you're like
Hennis,
muttering these occult
open your
things.
eyes.
And Minrai's like,
Let me see. What a pupil.
okay.
Like I'm right up in there.
And this is not magic you have ever done before, Minrai. But
Ulrich looks at all of this and starts just chugging some Malak. Like, oh my god.
We're falling apart.
as
It's going well. There's a cat.
as you do this, Minrai, you as you're kind of looking into Hennis's eyes, it's almost like across a great distance, like to like another set of eyes is like rushing towards you until you're staring at a person's face and they're staring at you, and you can see them in a room. This room looks absolutely fancy enough, nice enough. You've been to Lady Hellion's estate, right? You went that one time. I don't think you went inside, but you were outside of it, right?
So I think that was the case.
Okay,
Or
so
maybe, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
I think that's the case. So you don't know what the inside of Lady Hellion's estate looks like, but based on what Hennis has told you about who this person is, because he was able to recognize her voice and pinpoint it as that person who seems to be like Lady Hellion's like hanger on, I don't know, like lady in waiting type thing, right?
Yeah.
You see her clear as can be. And she, for a second, like, she's already been stuttering on the spell because of Hennis's, like, success at, like, she heard him repeating the words and realized that he was aware enough and, like, awake enough to start doing that. The spell is, like, starting to end, and as she kind of loses her control over the spell, you can see around her. You start to see through her eyes instead of seeing her through Hennis's eyes. And you are staring at the face of a human woman. And on the table between them is a mask that you have not seen before, but looks to you designed to be a high elf's. Actually, two true masks, high elf true masks on the table between you. One of them you would presume belongs to the high elf who is doing this incantation, whose face you literally saw, which is probably the first time in your life you've seen a high elf's face. Because as you were kind of like meeting her, you saw her face. Then you, through her eyes, see a human woman staring at her, looking concerned and confused. You look down, you see the masks side by side on the table. And then the spell ends. She
Oh
loses
no, I
control of
asked if
it.
they're pooping. Spell ends. Are you pooping?
And the spell ends, and Hennis, the pain is instantly gone. And Minrai, you're kind of disoriented, reeling a bit, but you are back immediately. Oh, I forgot to ever switch us from this page to Harmonious Properties, my bad. Back to Harmonious Properties.
Minrai will go.
Do you need to
That
roll
was a
Fallout?
rush. Oh my goodness, I have not done that before.
Do I need to roll Fallout because you
Yes,
took
I have 2 stress now.
Yes. Okay, so on a 1, you will take Fallout.
That was
You're
quite
fine.
the ride. How are you feeling, Hennis?
Confused? I would assume that I would still feel like shit, like I did the last time, but I actually do not. Whatever you did, that was exactly what you needed to do.
I am not quite sure what I did myself, but I saw some very interesting things. I suppose I must have done something right. I suppose it is a discussion for another time, but be it suffice to say that there were 2. I will say not. There was a human and the two high elf masks.
Yes, so you saw the high elf who was doing the chanting,
Yeah.
the spellcaster, and then through her eyes you saw the human woman, and you saw both masks on the table, high elf, true mask.
I'll just relay that kind of,
So-
was it like, and I described Lady Hellian's mask, which I'm super familiar with.
Yes, that is one of the masks you saw.
That does sound like one of the masks, actually. Yes, that is. Should that be concerning to us?
No, this is great for us. Kelvy immediately takes out his typewriter, sits down at his desk, and starts going.
Kelvy, I am both worried and hopeful whenever you begin to write.
I'm just, talking and writing as best as I
This
can.
might be grateful for us, but let's also not forget this absolutely also means that every time this has happened to Hennis, whoever's on the other side of this has been looking at us.
That is
Yeah,
true.
no, that's fine.
Well,
To start up a smear campaign.
I do not think that we should be so open with our information. Perhaps this is something that would be better played close to the vest. I am sure that should things go wrong with Lord Faisal, he will find it quite interesting to know that the true mask of Lady Hellion was in the care of a human and another high elf.
Oh, well, I have little doubts that the high elf that you saw was she herself.
Well, then who
That
is
is the only explanation. I have no idea who the
There
human
were
is.
2 masks.
Did you see who the mask was in front of?
Somebody's.
Yeah, did I see which one had Lady Hellion's mask, or was it like on the table, like side by
Was
side?
it in front of her? Or?
Yeah, both masks were just on the table, having been set there. There was no particular logic to how they were set necessarily.
I saw a human, a high elf mask, a high elf, and a high elf mask.
And did the voice that you were hearing, was that the high elf speaking?
Yes, it was the high elf casting the magic. The occult magic.
That does not make sense.
Could not be Lady Hellion.
Yes, and why would Lady Hellion's mask be there with her and some random human?
Well, don't you find that quite interesting indeed?
Perhaps we will have to leave this for another time.
Perhaps it is a wonderful poker chip that we have. Well, if there is poker in this world, it is a wonderful poker chip that we have been dealt in.
Only goats play poker.
Only goats play. Oh my god, the goats playing poker painting.
Goat poker.
Goats with the little visors.
Yeah, they've got the visors all sitting in a dark room smoking cigarettes, dropping hands.
Oh, in Spire, it's not that painting of dogs playing poker. It's goats.
The goats, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
No,
but we can use this now because we have a dead guy. We got Oren Wades in Moonlight, who was a drow, right? Who Faisal already thinks was in cahoots with Lady Hellion, who at the very least has someone working under her that is definitely a human.
I see a web that we can weave.
And is also utilizing occult magics.
We tell
Yeah.
we tell Lord Farquaad that Lords in Moonlight, or whatever his name is a bad drow pretending to be a high elf, and that there is one more, perhaps either under Lady Helion's estate and protection, or perhaps Lady Helion herself.
Just
So
to
there's a
paint a
chance-
picture of this really quickly, Barnabas is not paying attention to any of this.
Like
He is
Rachel?
sitting.
He's playing with Sweet Pea.
Oh,
please!
I could
Please,
tell you
Mary.
every
I
that just happened,
I
bitch.
know, I'm
Don't
sorry.
test me. It's not
Bring the
my
cat
fault I
back.
play a dumb old man.
Bring the cat back.
I can't. He left.
He doesn't
right there.
have
See him right
He
there.
didn't leave.
love
There
him.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm sorry, cat.
His little...
Oh, he grabbed. Barnabas is sitting next to the dead man with the gun, and he and Sweet Pea are kind of just Sweet Pea is licking the wounds, and Barnabas is just sticking his finger on them and just like licking his finger over and over again, because he knows that like it's not time yet to chow down, but it's also been a while, and he's like he's feeling the lack of people that he's eaten, and so
Aren't there like bodies everywhere here, or was that a different building?
Different
That's
building.
the
Yeah,
like a
Herald
slaughter?
Corporation building.
Okay.
yeah,
Harold
so like
Corporation.
straight up, they're both just sitting there like.
Okay.
I
Love
just wanted
it.
to paint that background picture for you while you
Thank
guys all
you.
discuss this.
I like it. He's like the kid on the playground who's like, like in the corner while the teachers are talking.
Ulrich is going ahead and setting up the Rite of Silver.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all haven't done Minrai's thing yet.
And by the way, I'm setting up the
Oh,
Rite
I
of
thought I
Silver
had
in.
last time.
I'm setting that up in the room that we're trying to have Farquaad enter specifically.
Okay, yeah. So, because it says a room or small building, is that, or like a large room to small building? Is that the?
I think it's just.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's specific. Oh, nice.
I
Well,
think
this is a small building,
yeah,
right?
you can cover the whole building with
But the question is, do we want to cover the whole building? Because if they bring like
you
guards,
mark a room as sacred to the goddess, the size of a large room.
okay, just a room.
Yeah. I would be willing to allow like the whole building to essentially fall under like this is a large room with just like some partitions kind of thing, walls like, or you can choose to just do this the large office over here if you would rather have them be able to come into the building without being aware of it.
I want the guards to be able to come into the building. I don't want them to be able to come into where like we've partitioned
Okay.
Faisal.
So then you would have to set it up for just this room.
Yeah, and so that's what I've done.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Minrai will pull out both the Kelvy doll and the Lord Farquaad doll.
Not
Are
yet.
we ready to do this?
I gotta finish my article first.
So close. So close.
Give it a second.
Okay, fine. I put them down and I begin to make a doll of the person that I saw.
Which one?
That's your question and answer.
What? No, you have to choose the human or
Which
the high elf.
human or the high elf?
I think given what I know, I think the human.
Okay.
Just because that's more scandalous, right? I personally over the table would choose the high elf so that we can force her into action and see who she is. But I think Minrai would choose the human.
Okay. Yeah, so you start making a doll of the human that you saw through the eyes of whoever the high elf was who was casting that incantation.
Yeah.
And Barnabas is going to just be there with his now bloody teeth and lips. And he's going to say, okay, I still have 2 questions. One,
We hopefully have 2 answers.
no, I hope so. When do we eat?
Shortly, I would think.
And
As soon as I'm done
2,
this article.
What am I supposed to? I'm supposed to wait outside and then vamp into Ulrich?
Yes,
Yeah,
your
who-
job
who
is to
all
make sure
has
that
whispers.
We all do.
all of
Everybody.
Okay.
your job is to. I mean, you can travel through shadows. Yes, so you are the perfect
Rick.
watch. Well, to Rick, yes, you are the perfect watch person. Stand outside, and
My peepers aren't so good, you know. It's been a
believe
few
that sweet
decades.
peas are
Then
pretty good. Stand
Lisa, are there shadows
outside,
in this
and
room?
should you hear anything
Yes.
going poorly, then you can just come back in. And should you hear things going poorly, perhaps you can bar the exit and then come back in, so that maybe they don't run and then tell everybody to come kill us in our home.
cool.
And, it is best to do these things with no survivors.
Are we letting the guards in with Farquaad?
A wonderful question.
We should, yeah.
I know that was their
It-
whole. You
because
can
we're-
only come in if they're nasty, but I don't know if.
You can only come in if they are nasty.
I mean, we're trying to do this bloodless, right? So the less
we
that
are.
they know,
I did not get that.
Yes.
I mean,
the-
we've already
all of the
killed someone, so I don't
conversation.
know if we technically get to claim that.
well,
we
relative-
do.
Barnabas
yes.
gives you a big bloody smile.
I mean,
Um,
at the least blood. It is not that kind of world. We cannot be bloodless.
So we're
Right,
trying
I
to
mean,
do this
you
bloodless,
just go
so
a
I'm
little.
just gonna hang outside and kind of listen, and then if everything goes fine, they go.
Everything goes fine. Yes.
My only question when this all kicks off, right, is Rick and Minrai. I'm worried about you two getting made from the
I would never get
original
made.
time we were in Faisal's estate, right?
Mhm.
'Cause,
I'm not wearing my.
I'm not wearing my
the
mask
same mask.
either. Am I wearing the same
I-
mask?
No, because
Well,
I
Y'all
got
have real
No.
recognizable voices.
I did. Okay, I did not say a single word in the first meeting. The only other time that I have met
I
Lord
wasn't
Farquaad-
there, but I'm pretty sure I could hear both you and Rick at the time, and Rick talked a lot.
I did not say a
Rick
single
talked a
word in our
lot.
meeting with Farquaad.
But Rick talked a lot.
Rick, quiet your mouth while he is here. I would like to
So-
confirm with God that I did not say a single word during that meeting. God,
God.
you have perfect memory.
I don't think you spoke.
I d-
Besides, you did talk to the other people because you used your spell and then muttered to either Rick or Kelvy.
But I did it quietly enough. I
yes,
remember
I
rolling
think that
this
you
stuff.
rolled
Mhm.
sneak and succeeded. So I think that no, you were not heard. You were pretty
Okay.
confident.
the
I-
the
I would
problem
like to-
with
Yeah, I would
You
just
go.
like to say while we're kind of deciding this, can I go ahead and roll a D3 stress to mind to cast Perfect Mirror, just in case I need to do any influencing of
Yeah.
high up people?
Do it.
Not that I'm anticipating needing to, but I would like to have access to all of their domains and information and
Yep.
brain.
Would that be less than a D3 because he's under my protection in this room?
Remind me, the wording of it is whenever
Flip a
they would
coin.
take
I will
mind
pull it
stress,
up.
it is reduced by.
Any stress that your allies suffer to blood or mind is reduced by 1 dice size.
Yes, which means you just take one. Just mark one. Do you need to roll to see if it succeeds though?
No, it says
Okay, it's
you
just
can
you
remake.
mark D3 and then it does.
Yeah, I mean, it takes me half an hour of just looking in some angled mirrors, but presumably there's a mirror somewhere.
How
within
angsty
here.
of you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just look at myself in some cracked mirrors and just contemplate every. No,
All right, so
The
yeah,
single
mark
dramatic tear.
1 stress
to mind.
to mind instead of rolling, and spend your half hour doing that.
What?
Guys, I'm gonna go to the bathroom for like half an hour. Just don't mind.
Sure.
I've got a real
Yeah,
big
sure.
one coming
Did
up.
you get into the laxatives?
I know. I was like, did you get it in Minrai's bag?
Wait, Ulrich, you are good at laxatives, right? Can you make tea?
We don't-
I
We
could
don't
I-
need to
last
do the
time I
team thing. We're trying to not.
We're gonna try to just talk. I say
I
we.
know, but
I'm
I'm
not gonna
just
be there.
saying
You
that
don't
should-
want me to talk to this
Should
asshole.
things go wrong, we offer tea as peace and then murder as they should.
Yeah, I mean,
The
my
easiest. They're not going
I
to want
was-
tea if things go to shit.
Well, they will if I
Oh,
offer it
why
to
the
them.
fuck? Oh, hey, I got a gun to your head. Do you want some tea? Like that.
I could just use
What is a
some
gun?
malak.
Oh, you know
and
there is
get
guns
every
in this world.
Man with a
Get everyone just
gun.
a little high.
just get everyone just a little high.
Yeah,
you know?
just like chill, like a good
Barnabas
chill
is straight
phase.
edge, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Not
Pure flesh
you
or
guys.
nothing.
Like I'm fine. I have a high tolerance for malak, so like I'll drink it
So do
along
I.
with everyone else.
Elise, it's thinking flesh. I
Yeah,
don't just eat
Elise.
humans.
You know,
Come on.
some days I say human, but never do I mispronounce Faisal's name.
Farquaad.
They're still tonight.
Yeah, there's still tonight, Elise. Don't worry.
Minrai,
Yes.
you didn't talk at Faisal's estate,
I
but
did not say that.
if correct me if I'm wrong, but you did say that you were made by one of the head servants.
That was
That might come back to bite.
they saw me breaking in or out, I should say,
Yeah.
and they saw my mask at the time, which was a Lady Helion mask.
But as a midwife, don't you have like
No, I do not.
spidery?
That is
Oh, you
pretty
don't?
racist. Oh my god.
I think this is
That
Tyler
was Tyler
asking,
asking.
not Kelvy.
That was
Oh
me
my God.
asking.
Okay. I'm
Tyler,
sorry.
that was pretty racist.
Yeah, how could you? Not all
I-
midwives have spider parts. That is a specific advancement.
As you
in-
like have spiders just come
That's an
from your
advance.
body
Okay,
to
great.
I mean, I
trap.
do have
Because
some.
that was my
I
worry.
do
Was
have.
like you had like half arachnid body just like skittering around, and you're like,
Not-
it's fine.
I mean, not. I mean, okay.
Okay, who's doing what? What are we doing?
I'm
do not
staring into
know.
mirrors and making some malak tea.
Okay.
I made the
Rick is-
doll.
You're calling the doll. He's finishing his article. He's doing black tea. You're gonna call him. I'm gonna be outside. You'll let them in. You
and
will
Hennis
talk.
is
I am
Talk.
asking what I'm supposed to be doing because I
Tennis.
thought I was supposed to be here as me, and then today we said we weren't, and I was waiting for that previous conversation to finish.
Look intimidating. That's
No,
done
no,
us a lot
you're,
of-
you. It's got to be better if you're there as you. P.S. Can I use your name in my article?
The one about Lady Hellion?
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
she's already gunning for you. It's fine. It's gonna.
Switching our
Really?
target from
knows
Lord
where we
Farquaad
live.
to Lady Hellion is not this.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
That's not the
So
goal.
here's the
here.
thing: if there's two scenarios here, we could have you be anonymous. I don't put your name in, and you're not you here, or put your name in. You are Hennis. You have killed Orin, right? And that
Isn't the
could
entire
gain you the
population
protection of
Hylians
Faisal.
after me?
What?
Oh, that's
Isn't
sorry.
the entire population of Hylians wants me dead then?
Yeah, I think it
So-
might be better to keep Hennis anonymous.
That's fair. I was just, I was on the thinking train that, you already have one high
Alright,
up.
so
that
you
once
might
dead,
want to
you might
redact that
want-
line about Hennis in your article.
it's redacted. I got the white out. It's gone.
Thank you,
Oh,
Andrew.
Everybody knows that whiteout is foolproof.
okay.
Mhm.
All right. So Hennis is going to be hanging out, looking intimidating, ready to jump on, starting to shank people, assuming.
You're just kind of leaning back against right next to the door, so when they
I
close it, they'll
believe-
see me, but not before,
Fa-
you know.
Farquaad's bringing his protection. We've got ours.
You know not to do your divine cancellation shit until, if you are gonna do it, until I'm in the room.
Yes,
'Cause
it's
I
a
can't
last.
do it.
Yeah, it's a
I
last.
can't go. I
resort.
can't get into the room if that's up.
Yeah,
Just uh,
it's a
heads
last
up.
resort kind of deal.
We'll tell
I
you,
just
'cause
wanted
we
to
were
make
first.
sure.
Okay, Minrai, who are you making? I know you have all the dolls. We'll say you had your 10 minutes to make your.
I have human
Human-
doll. I have
Yes.
Kelvy. I have Farquaad, and I have Marguerite.
And who are you using right now to. In your-
Farquaad and Kelvy.
Okay. Faisal and
I am
Kelvy.
also going to try and physically block Kelvy from leaving if he gets the occult inclination to.
Okay. Barnabas, are you exiting the building to keep watch
Trap
outside?
him in.
If it's time, yeah.
You don't
And,
have to yet, but I'm just asking if that's where you're headed.
I was actually thinking that I wouldn't go to be outside until after they all went in. I don't want to interact with them at all. My idea was I would just stay outside of the
Mhm.
doors after they were I'll go outside the building and go around the corner because I don't
Yeah,
want to
so
be
you don't want to be
around
in the building when they arrive.
but I want to be outside the doors once they're in.
Yes, got it. Okay, so you can go kind of find a post outside where you have good views of the streets around you. Kelvy is writing. Rick has finished his thing.
I have one little addition. Minrai, maybe I say this as I'm brewing some tea. Maybe you ought to make. I realize you've got a whole shit ton of those dolls, but maybe you should make another one. If things start going wrong, we could force Faisal out by himself if you just make him interact with another person, right?
I do not think that they are that powerful. The interaction can take time, so Farkot could just kill us all and then leave.
Okay.
What I can do, perhaps, is use another spell to force the guards of this particular place to come and interact with any kind of army that forms if we do end up running into a large force. But I
Do you
cannot
remember
for that.
my cousin?
I don't remember anybody.
Minrai, you do
Yes.
have to cast Compel plus Occult.
Do I really?
Look the web.
Oh. You've just
I
been,
know it's Weave the
doing
Web, but
it.
it's as
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I thought it was as I thought it didn't do that because of the wording. Okay, I do have occult. I don't
So
have.
we
compel.
might
Oh,
not even-
panic.
Can I was gonna say, can I help her? But I don't know how you could help her cast a spell.
Teach me how to be.
I'll just keep whispering compelling things into
Wait.
her ears.
Rick, you have that thing.
Yeah,
Can I take
Do
mastery?
it. Tell Farquaad to
Yeah,
come.
so you sacrifice your ally, gain the deceive. When an ally performs an action on my behalf, does this count as on my behalf?
Tell me to do it, fam.
Minrai, I need you to make Lord Faisal come here.
Well, that is very compelling of an argument. I will now roll with mastery. All right, I'm ready, team. Are you ready? Here comes the roll of the century. I don't want to look. Tell me how I did.
Yes!
You did good.
Yes!
9!
A 9 is a success, no stress. As
Just pass. all
you
the time.
roll this, or as you take your dolls and you do your creepy stuff in the corner with them, they kind of shrivel up and are consumed by the occult magic. Kelvy, it feels very weird to have the spell cast on you.
Oh God.
You feel this kind of it strangely, your obsession with Vis has prepared you a little bit for this. You feel like you really need to talk to Faisal. And you start against your own will making plans about how you're going to do that. You're like, well, if I leave right now, then I can get up Spire by, and you're just going through you're starting to pack up your stuff, just kind of absent-minded. You were in the middle of typing. It's just like, you're ready to just take care of that now, right?
I walk over to Kelvy and I kneel down next to him and I'm like, Kelvy, Faisal is on his way right now. Do not worry about going to meet him. He will be here soon. This is your plan. You will meet him. Does that help calm it down a little
If
bit?
I leave now, I can meet him halfway, and then it's quicker that way.
I believe Hennis may have to restrain you if that is the case.
Hennis can go with me. We'll drag the body behind us. I mean, it'll take us a little more time, but he'll hopefully be so it'll be like he'll go 3/4, go 1. And then we'll meet right there, at the
Barnabas
first
just
quarter.
whispers
Kelvy,
under his
Kelvy,
breath
I
because
need
we're
you-
all connected by whispers. Barnabas just somebody just make sure he doesn't leave Just
think
hold him or
Minrai's
something.
Minrai's gonna chuckle and then be like, "Damn, I'm good."
I wish that I wish that I were a player, because when you said just hold him, I would have been like, I just hug Kelvy.
Just hug him.
That's what I would
Well-
have done in that moment.
So Ulrich grabs the typewriter. Kelvy, I need your help. Where do my hands go?
That is very convincing.
Ooh.
Are we gonna ghost it?
Where do
so-
the hands go?
I just
Like all I know is
Oh,
like I
no.
point.
please
and
don't. Please, I am. We're very close to the end of that article. You don't need that. You please don't. Okay. Here, you just. I show him, the hand placement, and it delicate. You don't. Your fingers aren't hammers, and the keys aren't nails. You gotta be gentle with it, like a piano.
What's a piano?
It's
That is a great
I'll tell you.
question. Kelvin,
Aren't the things inside it technically called hammers?
that is also a great question.
the delicate hammers, just
Yeah, your
like inside
fingers
a
aren't
piano,
those,
you
though.
also have hammers. It's fine.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
fine.
Okay. Now, what's next?
Teach him like in Ghost and just put your hands over his.
My plan. My plan.
And just
here
have like.
isn't evident enough.
I'm gonna do that.
Keep
I'm gonna do
asking
that.
Questions
Just,
of
Yeah,
Kelvy.
Sam, we got it.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
I still
gonna
want
keep-
him to do the ghost thing, though.
I'll do the ghost thing.
Yeah,
That's
nice, nice.
All right, so ghostwriting over here is happening. Hey. And
Hey.
yeah,
God
it's
damn it.
you are definitely being distracted, right? Like there few things can distract you as much as your typewriter can. And so Rick and Hennis are successfully kind of keeping that distraction going. And also weirdly, like your obsession with Vis, like sometimes like just comes on real strong, almost like it's at war with this like occult magic that Minrai has cast, being like, which obsession is going to feel like stronger right now. And so like you start doing weird shit, right? Like you're just doing your weird Vis things, but it seems to be helping you resist the urge to just like leave and go see Faisal right now. Yeah, and so you are passing time. It's a while, right? Like it takes time to get from Amaranth to the gardens, and assuming that, Faisal is leaving right away, for y'all going from gardens to Amaranth, like through the heart of Spire, it would take more time than presumably someone with Faisal's means to travel faster. So, the time kind of ticks by, and as it does, it's getting harder and harder to kind of resist this compulsion to like go find wherever Faisal is.
Do you want
wow.
Led, do you
Kelvy,
want
time sure does
laxatives?
fly when you're teaching me how to type, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Me,
got you.
bordering on
It's
arthritic
only been an
fingers.
hour.
Yeah, and towards the end of hour 2, Kelvy, you just kind of, Rick is still talking to you, and you just start walking out the door. Like you're still talking to Rick. You're just going out the door.
Mhm.
You're just like leaving.
I'm physically blocking him. I've been standing at the door the whole
Yeah.
time.
And this is there just kind of like buffering you back. And it doesn't take much longer than that, though, before Barnabas sees Faisal with 3 guards walking up the way towards Harmonious Properties.
Holy shit. I was gonna say Farquaad's gonna show up and Kelvy's gonna be like tied to a chair and we're gonna be watching like The Land Before Time.
I can
Like,
explain.
look, Kelvy,
Caw, Barnabas says.
why are you crying? We can hear you just fine.
He just go like whispers, caw.
It's not any better. Is he showing up?
Faisal's
That
showing
bird?
up with 3 guards.
Well, that is not a bird call I have ever heard, so it must be true.
All right. And as you are Sitting there, you hear the door open, and let me right layer. You see Faisal come in. Now I can't select them. Nope, still can't. There we go. And behind him, he's flanked by his 3 guards. Kelvy, immediately the stress kind of this spell having been cast on you, but you can't do anything about it, is relieved. And you do feel compelled to like rush out and immediately greet him. But otherwise kind of the stress of the spell is relieved.
I'm waiting for your weird factor to just like kick in the middle of this discussion.
I'm gonna
And the fact
push
that Elise
so
is
far
so
back. It's
serious
gonna
right
be-
now and is trying not to crack tells me that's exactly what's gonna happen. Fuck.
Who can say?
I mean, we could say.
Did all of the
You can say
I
You
Elise.
can
say.
say.
at least did Faisal and all of the guards walk in?
Yes,
Yeah.
Faisal and all of the guards walked in.
Okay, so once they all walked in, I would walk over to the doors and
Okay.
stand outside them.
Yeah, I'll just put you kind of like, right.
I already moved myself to the corner.
Yeah,
but-
we'll just put you there, and like I understand you are
Sure.
outside the doors. Yeah.
Okay, cool. But
There's
yeah,
not
just that
extra
way.
space
That
on
way,
this map.
actually, before can I look around for some kind of like something that could bar the doors?
Yeah, make investigate low society.
I have low society. I have investigate. So
Okay.
I also have crime. Does that help? Because I'm doing a crime of locking them in.
No. Nice try.
So is that just 3?
3.
I'm still learning how the system works.
All right.
Hey.
Hey, a 9.
I succeeded and crit failed, but don't worry about that.
That's not how that works. The 9 is the only one that counts, and
I know.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if you rolled a 1 and it counted?
Sounds
Who
like
would
me.
do such a thing? Yeah, so you find there's stuff around that you kind of get resourceful. While no one's looking, pull off like a piece of a park bench and kind of wedge it in there.
Just the old man doddering around in
Yeah.
like torn robes with the hyena just like pulling part of a bench
Yeah.
off.
And yeah, you bar the entry, the entryway. Make a sneak roll with low society.
Uh-oh.
Sneak, is that a thing I have? It is.
Wait,
Hey.
can I ask, Rachel, were you planning on having Barnabas barricade the door immediately, or were you
No.
gonna wait? Yeah.
I was gonna wait.
Okay, you can wait. You might still have to make
Okay.
the sneak roll, but we'll hold on to it just in case.
I mean, I could. Let me know what you want, but yeah, I don't want to bar the doors until I hear in the whispers that things are going poorly.
Okay.
I just wanted to have stuff
Gotcha.
so I could do it immediately.
Got you. Thank you for
Yeah.
clarifying. Okay, yeah. So,
Yep.
Kelvy, you come out to kind of greet Faisal, and as you do, he kind of approaches and he's like, "I thought I might find you here. Came. I don't know. I need to know how things are going with Wades and Moonlight. Has anything? What's happened with that?"
It's funny that you mentioned that because I was gonna get somebody to come and trek up Spire for you to bring you down here. So glad to see you. It's a problem I dealt with, and I think you're gonna want to see what I found. And I just kind of gesture for him to the door to my office that I just walked out of.
Okay. Yeah, he'll follow you into the office. If you want to move your token, I'll get and
Sure.
the guards kind of make their way up the hallway as well.
I would say that because of my spell, I would have like asked Kelvy to like say something to make sure that like the guards know that they shouldn't come this far, and then maybe that would like instill in them, oh, this is why I'm feeling this stress because I was just told not to do this.
Yeah, Kelvy could have, said like have the guards wait outside or something.
Yeah. It's a private matter. You know, you should probably have the guards wait outside.
Okay, yeah, they'll kind of stand at the door, like looking in, but they won't follow you in. When Faisal kind of gives them a nod to wait in the hall. And yeah, he comes in and sees the body, your typewriter on the desk. He's kind of looking around the office, surprised, sees the old blood stains from where a long time ago Neza got shot, and sees the kind of fresh, obviously blood. Well, I guess there wasn't very much because it was a very professional job. But the dead body with, I presume, Orin Wades and Moonlight's mask on his face, right?
Yep.
Okay. And he kind of, Faisal kind of stops at this and like puts his hands up and like leans back a little, and he's like, this isn't exactly what the plan was, and he kind of kicks at the body to see if it's moving, if it's, alive.
Shit. Really? I just figured, I take it upon myself to deal with it for you because, I caused the problem. So I pulled some strings, got a guy, got him here.
Yep.
Yelled him for you.
Bear in mind, remember the fact that the dead body is a drow.
Yeah, it's currently wearing the
Yeah.
mask, so he can't.
Okay. Yeah.
Faisal can't tell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had rather hoped to talk to him before disposing of him. This is quite unusual. Make a deceive. This will be deceive.
Sure.
And high society.
Okay. So that'll be 2d10 then. No, that ain't good.
Jesus Christ.
No. It's happening.
Okay, and let me roll.
You normally roll so well, Kelvy. Why?
I
Wait.
normally do.
Wait,
It's
I
fine.
only see 2 dice. Shouldn't you have rolled 3?
I don't have high society.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you did.
Just tennis does.
God, you are so lucky with stress rolls. That could have been fucking 6.
Did you take that down a dice size?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay.
depending on what it's to.
It's not to blood or mind.
Okay.
And so
okay.
Kelvy, you take 2 reputation stress.
Okay.
And that puts your
So
total
that'll
at
put
what?
me at 1 stress.
At 1 stress. Okay.
1.
So you can't take fallout from this, because it's just 1. So we won't roll it. And he he kind of you see, you know from your previous meeting in Minrai's magic that that
I'm hearing your voice echoed.
yeah, I'm getting a
Yeah,
little bit
it's
I
echoed.
think it's from Ava.
Was it? Sorry. I think I might have fixed it just now.
Okay. Yeah, so you know from your previous interactions in Minrai's spell that Faisal is a very volatile person. And you see him kind of go extremely still in a way that kind of reminds you a little bit of the way that he went extremely still when you blackmailed him. And he looks out at his guards in the hallway, and he looks back at you and kind of clocks the other people in the room, right? He's looking at this group of your compatriots, and he he kind of shakes his head. You can't see his face or his expression, but doesn't say anything. You don't know that you failed, right? You just see his body go stiff in that way that kind of makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit. And he leans down and he tugs the mask off of Orin Wades and Moonlight. Or, the poor piece of shit that you summoned in here with your spell, and dressed up as Orin Wades in Moonlight, and kind of looks down at the face of the drow there, and he kind of nods a little bit, and he's like, "So, a drow, pretending to have been a high elf?" There's just this long silence following that.
And yeah, and that's weirdly not surprising given some information that has come to light on my end. And I go over to my typewriter and I take out either a full article or an almost full article, and I hand it to him, and it is just the beginnings of a very egregious smear campaign on Lady Hellion, detailing the occult magic that she is utilizing, as well as her either employing a human or possibly a human herself.
Okay. He kind of scans this, and then he looks out into the hallway and gestures to one of the guards and says, "Go get Rochelle."
Real quick, a human with a high elf mask. Employing a human with a high elf mask, or that she is a human herself. That's what the article says, right? Because there were 2 high elf masks, remember? There were...
Yeah, but
okay. So
we weren't sure, at this juncture, because there were 2 high elf masks. There was a human in the room and a high elf in the room. So the high elf had to be okay with the human being, being a high elf. She's either a human harboring, or a human who's pretending to be a high elf, or a high elf harboring a human who's pretending to be a high elf. Those are exactly.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that we got that clear, because that's a key point, I think, maybe to convincing Farquaad.
Rochelle.
Yeah, so the guard starts making their way back. Barnabas, you would have heard him. Well, actually, you wouldn't have.
I would,
because you are outside, and whispers is not whatever people hear.
It's
what people say.
I will. Some of these.
What do you want me to do?
Are they going to be getting Rochelle? Did she come in with you?
You saw them, and then you moved to the front of the building, right? So there, you did not see anybody else trailing, but you also haven't had the same good view of everywhere that you had before.
Yeah.
So the guard.
I'm whisper asking Minrai what I should do. In this split second, you can tell me if it's not enough time, but
I don't think I can discreetly whisper back anything specific.
Yeah, so the guard is basically out the door.
Okay.
And are you just kind of lounging up against the side of the wall, like with your plank of wood?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and look really, really nonchalant.
I will have to make more tea.
Okay.
If we are going to have more guests.
Faisal stops you before you can leave and says, "Don't." And like, so and the guards are standing outside the door now, as if to block you if you are going to move out of the room. And the guard looks at you. You can roll sneak with low society if you want to try and just look like you're just like a
Hey.
Okay, full success. Yeah, this guard kind of like looks at you and kind of just
this
scoffs.
Is where I'm succeeding. Is just
it's like acting.
I like just polishing my wood here with my hyena. Don't mind me.
Okay, and a second
Not a
later,
euphemism at all.
No. The guard kind of just like gives you like a kind of a look. I mean, like they've got a mask on, you can't tell anything about them.
But you know it's
but like
a look.
they you know it's a look, and they kind of disappear around the corner. And when they come back, they are trailing another person. Like, give me a second to get them moved over.
As you're doing that, like this is just flavor text. I think Ulrich has started placing like nice smelling like herbs or whatever around this dead body so that it's not like, starting to stink up the place.
I mean, it's pretty fresh, it's been dead for like 3 hours maybe. But yeah,
Faisal doesn't know this, right?
That's fair. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, and so the guard comes back, and they're trailed by somebody wearing a mask. It's not a true mask. It's not a high elf's true mask. It seems you can't tell, right, who this person is, but they are not wearing a true mask of any kind, indicating that they are probably not a high elf. And they're, very nondescript, very hard to kind of, and actually, they come in, Barnabas sees them, come back in, and they kind of give Barnabas a look, as they go in, and, Barnabas, like, as you're kind of observing this person,
I would have absolutely walked around to the other side of the building again while they were gone, so that I'm not there anymore when they get back.
Okay,
but I can see them go in, and I'll go back
across
to
the street or something, so you can kind of watch this happen. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're observing this, and as you do, kind of like watch this person like follow the guard back into the building. It's weird because like you keep trying to focus on them, but it's like you can't. Like they are very hard to get a look at. They are very hard to pin down. You can't really, if you were asked to describe what you saw, the best that you would be able to say is like it was a person wearing a mask. And
That was a good Barnabas.
Thanks. And they, the rest of you are still, by the way, in the room, blocked. Your view is blocked and everything. And the guards kind of stand back as this person approaches. And as they get to the door,
she's weird. There's something really weird about this person. I don't know what.
As they kind of get to the door, they pause, and kind of you can kind of see over Faisal's shoulder, and he looks back to this person. Then they kind of pause in the doorway, and they like reach a hand out, and kind of like Rick, none of you see anything, not even Rick, but Rick, you feel them kind of brush the magic of your silver, Rite of Silver. Like they're not trying to disrupt it or dispel it or do anything violent towards it. They just kind of brush it with their hand, like the empty space. They're not touching anything, but you feel that kind of happen.
Did they look like a cannibal priest or anything when they walked in?
You literally...
Did I get that? I just couldn't tell because I couldn't concentrate on them.
If you were asked to tell me what they looked like, you would say it was a person with a mask. Yep.
Okay.
And they they pause outside the door, and they look over to Rick, and they say, "Will you let me in?"
So they are supposed to take D6 stress to mind upon trying to enter the space.
They did not.
She didn't try to enter. She just
felt it.
She touched up your magic in a creepy, pervy way.
She's real good at magic.
So,
oh god,
so whenever
it's over.
I'm glad that I did my last thing, because now I have access to all of her or all of this person's.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say it was a she?
Nope, I have been using they.
Oh, I thought you said her. God, my brain just automatically.
Yeah, my brain thought her too. Anyway,
Rochelle is typically used as a woman's name in our society, but yes.
Okay, yeah. So I do have unlimited uses of this. Okay. Awesome, great. I'm sorry, but this is a very private matter, and we would ask that you not come inside until we have finished our dealings.
No, they're good to come in. This is fine.
Faisal Faisal looks back at this person that he's called Rochelle and says, "Is there something barring the entry?" And she just kind of, well, sorry, you got me doing it. They just kind of you see them kind of like it's a very like gentle gesture. It's not kind of like a half shoulder shrug, and then a little nod, and they say, It is holy magic. Holy magic of the drow deity, moon deity.
We took precautions so that we might not be disturbed. Let them in.
This is a common practice when private matters are being discussed.
I believe it is fine for them to enter.
They're still waiting
But
for.
I think you can just
I-
allow
I-
them
I-
in, right? Can't you?
If you don't, they're gonna go in and take the d6 damage, and they're gonna be mad at you. Like I
this
think
is
you
our
gain
only option
literally
is to let them
nothing.
in. Yeah,
You
there's no
gain
reason.
nothing from pushing
I
against
know,
this.
but like I purposefully tried in this moment to not have them come in, and because I'm trying to influence them, I should get knowledge of all of their domains and everything in this moment. Because I've attempted to influence them to not come in.
So attempting to influence, like, you want to roll compel against them to see if you can convince them that it's not necessary for them to come in?
Yes, that's what I was trying to do. And
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I have to make this roll also against Faisal and be like, no, this isn't necessary. This is me telling him that, so be it. But I assumed that this was me just telling.
You can choose one of two things. You can choose a deceive roll against Faisal for saying that this is our common practice of how we deal with private meetings. In which case, you would be rolling to influence Faisal, and you would get his domains. Or you may choose a compel roll against Rochelle to see if they will back down on insisting that you lower this guard, or that they don't need to enter.
Can I ask a quick question? Before you do it, what do you gain from finding out their domains and things? How is that? I just honestly, I'm not sure. Like, how is that useful to us in the thing? Because if you push up against her, them, they're going to have something against us. They're going to not particularly like us. So I just don't know. If you do gain those things from them, how do we utilize them? How is that useful to us to know their domains?
There's the literal instance where it's like, okay, if I ever have to roll something that I don't have, then I get that. And then also I assume I get mastery because I would have
you're gaining like the domain multiple times.
Yeah. But in this instance, I kind of feel like while I'm speaking to her, that I'm trying to assure Faisal that this is the common practice. And so I would say that it's probably best that I roll the deceive against Faisal.
Okay, roll deceive and high society.
So I have deceive. I do not have high society. Well, I mean, Faisal has high society, so I get high society.
Yeah, because you don't have to have successfully influenced him, right? You just have to have attempted to influence him.
I just get that whenever I'm attempting to influence him.
In which, yes, you have high society because Faisal has high society.
So, okay. So this will be 3d10 then.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the 8 is a success, no stress. He kind of, seems to just kind of like scoff at this and is like, oh, the petty ways of drow and your silly moon deity. I don't let my person in, please. And you gain the following skills. You gain deceive. If you already have these things, so when you get mastery, you don't just get mastery in all deceive things. You pick a thing within deceive that you can do with mastery. And that is true for anybody who gains the domain or skill twice.
So if I said specifically, like, if I wanted to try to deceive, in order to get a higher position of power, or if I was trying to, like, could I say that I want deceive specifically in instances when I'm dealing with high elves? Because that's what I would do right now.
Yeah, I think deceive, like, along the lines of like a like you know how to kind of play high elves, like you've interfaced with them enough to kind of know like specifically like good routes for deception with them. Sure, you can have mastery there. You gain fight.
Okay, fight.
Oh,
Is that the end?
No, sorry. I was waiting for you to tell me if you had that one already. I'm
No,
sorry.
I didn't have fight, but
Okay.
I need to mark somewhere that I now have mastery and deceive.
Because these aren't permanent, right? They're
No,
just
this
for a
is-
period of time.
Yeah, until the end of the
I'm just trying to
situation.
find like I guess I'll type that in Nax. So I have mastery with high elves.
Just remember which ones are temporary.
Yeah, that and I also am writing fight.
Okay. And you gain the skill of resist.
I already had resist, so I would get mastery, but like in what
Resisting-
sorts of issues? Like I know it deals with like light, but then also this is dealing with Hennis's stuff. So.
Yeah, so resist is like typically resist rolls happen when you are resisting taking higher amounts of stress. So I would just make you roll resist against if you are just taking abrupt stress or something like that. That doesn't seem to have a source, or that isn't from like someone attacking you, because then it's their attack roll. But if it was like a magical attack, or if it was like saving throws in D&D, right? Like something falls on you and you can roll resist to try and reduce how much damage you take. So there's, I think one good way to do this would be to pick a type of damage that you want to be able to like have resist as a mastery in.
So what, like with high elf magic, what would that be considered?
Most likely you could, okay, here's an alternative. You could say resisting spell effects as your resist, and then it's not related to damage, but in terms of resisting spells would be another way to do that.
Yeah, okay. So
Okay.
I have mastery and resist, and I resist spell effects.
Okay. And that's it for skills. Domains, you gain commerce, high society,
Okay, did not have that, did not have high society.
occult.
Oh shit.
Hmm. So he's got a cult.
Yeah.
And do you let Rochelle pass? Because Faisal has accepted your lie and then asked you to like essentially let your guard down for Rochelle.
Yeah, I guess a crit success would have been like, yeah, stay outside. I guess
You've explained why this magic is here. You have not succeeded in compelling anybody not to enter the room.
Would I possibly be able to try to compel?
You can. I will tell you right now, based on how the interaction has gone so far, neither Faisal nor Rochelle seems especially likely to be compelled. GM speak, you would be rolling at difficulty 2.
Yeah.
Just let her through, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Literally killing me.
I do. Guys, it's fine. It's fine. I do it.
Okay. Can everyone move their tokens back a little so we have a little more space? Essentially, you're making room for Rochelle to come in. Yeah.
I whisper very tightly under my breath, inaudibly.
Okay. You can roll sneak to not be heard.
I wasn't okay. If I would have to roll sneak,
I mean, like, you're right up in this
myself.
business with everybody. I think that there's no way to like be whispering without, if you wanted to try and like move away and like look at some, documents or something in the corner, but even that would probably be suspicious. Let me go just check some of these papers, Okay.
Yeah. Then no. Then I keep it to myself for the moment.
I didn't realize that your special thing also gave you those domains. I thought you just learned them. So I was like, what is that? Okay.
Yeah. All right,
makes sense
let's
then.
take our break here. Tensions
Oh.
rising with Rochelle entering the room.
I want to
and
kill him so bad. Sorry.
Okay, and we'll take a break. So I will put us on the break, and then we will be back at about 8:18, 10:18 if you are on the East Coast. And we'll see where this goes. I'll see you soon. And what am I doing? Okay, I got it. Bye, everybody. Okay.
But more
Hello.
importantly,
I think we're
Yeah.
live again. So thanks for we were back at 8:18, but then we just started talking. Okay, so here we are back live. If you can't hear us, shout. And
I'm just kidding. I can hear you. Sorry.
Screech.
Instead to shout, I got the urge.
Oh, you gotta
No,
live
we're
your best
fighting
life.
all the urges right now. Mostly Kelly's, but we're fighting all the urges.
Minrai is not someone who fights urges.
Um,
Oh, I love this
Oh
one.
man, haha.
Woo!
Woo! Just an ostrich being excited. Okay, that's all.
Sam, you wanted to kick us off with a question.
Yeah. So now that Rochelle is like within our proximity,
Yes.
do I get a good look at this person?
You may roll investigate and occult to get a good look at this person.
Oh, I have temporary occult, so heck yeah. 3 d10. I got a 9.
A 9. So success, no cost. It was at difficulty 1, but that is still an 8, which is success at no cost. Yeah, so you
That's concerning that it's at difficulty at all. So
It's fine. Just don't think about it.
you like focus real hard on Rochelle. And as you do, they kind of come into better focus for you. And you see that they are a little bit slight in form. They're shorter, which I mean, even that was very hard to make out. And everybody's having this kind of difficulty seeing them. They're kind of slight of form. They are wearing kind of dark clothing that is not strongly like it doesn't. You're like in the coding of like masculine to feminine. It doesn't really strike you as either. They are wearing a mask, but it doesn't cover all of their face. It covers the lower half of their face. So their eyes are exposed to you.
so they're taking COVID protections.
Yeah, they're just wearing a COVID mask. They don't want to get they don't want to catch what Kelby has. And
Don't lick them.
their eyes are like their skin and coloring and face looks more drow than human, but more human than full-blooded drow. You don't have a very good sense of what that means. It's not common, like to the extreme of you don't think you've ever encountered someone who is mixed blood between human and elf. And they their hair is kind of long. It goes over the back of their mask and down their back. And you can't see their ears for it. And that's what you can make out about them. Their face is covered and no strong gender indications from their clothing or from anything else about what you can tell or see from them.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so that's what you make out about them. And lucky you with that full success, or they might have known you were breaking past that occult defense. And they come in and Faisal kind of gestures to them and looks down at the body and says, if you could, Rochelle, this is apparently Orin Wades in Moonlight, and I would just like that, do your thing. And they kind of they nod.
Oh no, they have a high advance that I could have taken. Fuck.
It's also there's a high advance I could have taken. That's why I was asking if it was a carrion priest, because there's one where a carrion priest can eat the flesh of somebody and then see their life.
There's also one that
Son
you
of
can
a
bring
bitch.
someone back to life.
They go over. They kneel
So this
next
seems
to.
like a worst case scenario.
They kneel next to the body.
Hold on.
Do we have a safe word? Do we have a safe word?
We didn't
Everyone-
think of a God damn it, we didn't think of a safe word. I think
got
my
this.
safe word is gonna be
Is it pineapples?
I think my safe word is gonna be where's Sweet Pea at?
Where's Sweet Pea? So they kneel by the body, and they do not do the Lejeune rites that you know of, Rick, nor do they partake in eating of the flesh of this body. Instead, you see them reach. Rick, you can follow this motion. The rest of you are struggling to see what's happening. But Rick, you see them reach into a pouch at their side and pull out some items, some occult items. You certainly recognize them as occult. And they start to place items on the body along essentially, like, they lay the body flat and essentially lay it along the sternum, down the stomach. And it's like a gemstone here, some powder of something there. It's just occult stuff that they are placing on this body. And then they close their eyes and under their breath start to say an occult incantation.
Pause.
Do I know what this occult incantation is?
If you have occult, so Calvi, Minrai, and
he
Rick.
does now.
Yeah,
I
and
do
Rick,
now.
right. Then you may roll investigate and occult to see if you can tell what's going on here.
Okay, I also okay,
So-
well, I didn't make it.
So Kelby is not going to roll.
I got a crit.
Kelby sees the writing on the wall here and just is going to casually walk back to his desk, sit down, and kick his feet up and just wait.
Just wait. Faisal, despite Rochelle doing this, Faisal is watching you, Kelvy. And the stress, Minrai Mark II stress to mind, and yes, that is the lower dice roll. 2 stress to mind for Minrai from attempting to kind of think about this occult spell and failing. What does that put your stress at?
0.
Okay.
I have 3 mind resist, so
all right. And after a moment, yeah, go ahead.
I also rolled and I got a crit on it.
Oh yes, thank you. Okay, so it's kind of weird because, like, in the sense that, like, this knowledge seems to be coming to you from Faisal's knowledge, not your own. Like, you don't have this knowledge, but, like, as you're watching this happen because of the mirror's spell that you have put up, you actually do kind of, like, it's not the same as, like, hearing Faisal's thoughts, but you might as well be in a way. You see Faisal is fully aware of what the spell is. It is an occult spell that obviously that is used among high elves, and they're kind of most high elves stick to religious magic. Some high elves delve deeply into occult magic, and the ones who do delve into occult magic use this spell in order to communicate with deceased family members in order to settle disputes in wills. Is the most common use of this spell. So essentially, if a person passes away abruptly, they can call someone who can do this spell into the home, have them do the spell if the person is recently deceased enough, and can have that person kind of speak their last will and testament to that person, and then they can settle disputes over property and money and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And to this, Ulrich's, like, he's not anxious, actually.
Okay.
He's just incredible, show don't tell, right? So I look, I hear what's going on. I've really got to go to the bathroom right now. And I step out of the room and make
When-
some tea.
When
Oh,
you
Faisal-
step out of the room, well, first of all, Faisal is at the door, and
Oh, then I
like you could try to get past him or whatever. It's not like he's necessarily gonna like, you know, stab you if you try to leave, but he doesn't seem interested in moving aside for you, so you would have to kind of find a way past him. And second, if you leave the room, do you lose the right of silver?
I don't, as long as I'm in the area, it's in effect.
Okay.
But at the same time, having just now recalled that Barnabas has my blood, I think I just kind of take a more like distant, like I don't want to be around them as whatever happens. Like I want to be a little bit away.
Yeah, you can move your
I
token
didn't
to kind of
move.
where you think you would.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be closer to Hennis at this point. It's
I
Okay.
have
a little
a
bit more of a
question,
tactical spot.
Elise.
Ask your question, Ava.
How stealthy is no magic, but the magic of my mistress, the one that cancels out other magic.
Not stealthy in the fact that yeah, an active spell that is currently being cast by a very adept spellcaster suddenly going dead would be very noticeable. And Rochelle has already given away that they are capable of tracking spells to who cast them via investigating Ulrich's Rite of Silver and immediately identifying that it was Ulrich, despite the fact that I don't think Ulrich is in Lejeune robes right now. Is that correct?
Yes.
You know, there's a chance that we may just have to offer Kelvy up here.
All right, and as
Minrai's
when-
ready to do that.
When Rick
So-
comes and stands by Hennis, he's gonna move a little bit to be standing in front of Rick.
okay. Aw, I ship it. Protective boyfriend says, "Not today."
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, not boyfriend. I ship
I was
fast.
Just
I
we
ship
have
Right.
the, did we have the
Ulrich-
consent in players form at the
Yeah,
beginning?
right. That
of
sounds
this
like no
that
relationship
specifically
between
said no
players, and I'm just like
Oh,
throwing that
oh.
out.
Ulrich looks at like Hennis's arm, and it's got just like the right amount of sweat that it's like glistening.
Does he
Oh my
feel compelled
God.
to lick it and then think like maybe not, just in case?
At least I'm not a Kobe.
At least, yeah.
If I
am going to
didn't
point out,
have
listen,
anything
listen,
to live
listen,
for
listen.
before,
It was not me that put that on the form, but like somebody legitimately
know,
put that,
yes.
and that was a thing that was agreed upon, and every single person that's participating in this is fully shitting on the fact that somebody put that in their consent form that they didn't want this.
Thank
so
you, Rachel. I appreciate
I'm just
that
saying
very
that
much.
kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah. So anyway, Rochelle starts to speak in kind of in the same tongue as all of you. You hear her ask, "Identify yourself," and then her face. Minrai and Faisal can see this. No one else can, because she's sorry. They are facing the door, kind of, because the body is there and they're facing that way. So Minrai, you can see this, and Faisal can see it, although his eyes are trained on Kelvy. Minrai, you see Rochelle look up, and their eyes kind of go pale, and you hear them say in kind of their own voice, but like it's a little like raspier, a little weirder, and they say God, why didn't I fucking pick a name before this started? I was so proud of myself for all the prep that I did of like, I'm gonna have everything ready, and then
Lord
I
Wade's
forgot.
in
The
Moonlight.
random dark elf.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Or wait,
Yeah,
Moonlight.
Random dark elf.
whatever.
I can pick a name. I can pick a name for you.
Um,
Randall Vandalbottom.
no, we're definitely not calling them Randall Vandalbottom.
Randall Vandalbottom.
They say
Gary Hitler.
No.
Gary Hitler.
They say
It all comes back around.
they say Kethis. And then Rochelle blinks, and their eyes are that blue color again. And well, Minrai, you can't really make out. Rick would have been able to if Rick could see their face. That their eyes are blue. And they ask, and who is Oren Wade's in Moonlight? And the they close their eyes, and when they open them again, it's white again, and they say out loud, the spirit of this person says, who the fuck? I don't even, what? And Rochelle closes their eyes, opens them, and says, how did you die? And closes their eyes, opens them, it's white again, and the spirit says, I don't even know. I ran in this room and then I just died. And that's and then the the occult magic, for those of you tracking it, which I think would only be Rick due to the success of the investigation spells, dissipates, and they pick up a few of the items. Some of them seem to have been used up or like burned out for the use of the spell, but like the gemstone they put back in their pouch, and there's like a little chunk of silver that they put back in their pouch, and those are kind of the two things that go back in. They just don't even bother with the rest, and they look up at Faisal, and Faisal looks at Kelvy, and
well, that is most unfortunate. It seems that we have killed the wrong person.
It seems that way, doesn't it? He says, and kind of like puts his hand up to his head. You can't see his face, right? Still masked. And kind of like knocks on his head a little like this. It's not like a violent action, it's just like a thinking action, right? He's like, see, this is very interesting because all along, it's like if you look at it from the right angle, then there's all these little things that just seem so simple. All these little explanations that, without Orin, Wades, and Moonlight in the room, just start to not add up. Kelvy, Telena.
Yeah.
Remind me again, can you show me the implant for your voice? Those are usually under the tongue, right? You have my permission to take your mask off in my presence.
Right now, Minrai is fighting a battle to not turn in Kelvy and just cut a deal with Farquaad.
Hey, why don't the rest of you all leave the room for a minute? Let Lord Faisal and I talk for a moment.
What?
I do not believe that is.
See, there's some sensitive things that we both know that, you know.
Kelvy, you know I
might have some stuff on you that you don't want public to know about, and you might know. Well, you might think you know something about me right now, so I think it's best that we had a chat.
Do you all leave the room?
I think I defer to Farquaad.
Faisal steps aside to make sure that the door is unbarred. Okay. But before he does, kind of nods to his guards who block off this hallway. So like you can go out into the hallway, but they are not letting you leave the building.
We're also not letting them leave the building, so jokes on them.
It's like that meme of like the gun and the sniper up in the rafters.
I mean, that's exactly what the situation is.
Is anyone leaving the room?
I'm gonna give Kelvy a very pointed, questioning look.
Is it at all possible that Rochelle has already started making their way out?
No, Rochelle has not moved.
I'll wait for Rochelle, yeah.
Rochelle, it looks like they're going to get comfy where they are. They are sticking with Faisal.
It's okay. This is fine.
I'll head out.
I'll give a holler if I need it.
I'll step out.
all step into the corner.
We can all hear what he'll be saying.
I just want you to know, if you wanted me to throw a knife at Faisal right now, I can kill him in one hit, and I have a ranged tag on my knife. But I'll leave.
No.
So okay. Rick left. Hennis, you're leaving the room?
Yeah, once Kelvy said again that we should leave, I'm out.
Minrai?
Minrai is not ready to leave. I don't think she would.
Okay. So this is kind of the configuration.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
stepping into the corner and kind of leaning into the corner and just kind of giving a pointed look.
Yeah, Faisal sees you, and then looks at Rochelle and nods, and says, if anyone has academia or high society, you may roll.
Anyone at all, or just in the room?
Anyone at all?
Anyone in the room who has, so Kelvy and Minrai. If you have high society or academia, you may roll investigate with that domain, whichever one you have, to see if you know what's happening.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. Minrai, you hear Faisal say in the kind of ancient dead tongue of high elves to Rochelle, shut him up. And Rochelle is, I'm going to...
Does that mean kill? Can I, is there like an insight
God,
roll?
you lucky motherfucker.
Holy shit! Oh my god!
That is incredible.
Damn!
You see Rochelle chant something, and kind of pause and look at Faisal. None of you can make out Rochelle's features who are in the room because Rick was the only one who succeeded on that. So you don't see what Faisal does, which is kind of a very confused look from Rochelle to Faisal. And they kind of shake their head very minutely.
Minrai, do you say anything when you hear him say that?
I will cross my arms and say, perhaps it is wise to have a conversation that is not one-sided.
And with that, hang on, I need to mark something.
Oh, shit.
You need to say something so I can bamf in.
I'm holding on it. I'm holding as long as I can. The
I'm
moment you
outside.
bamf in, it's go time. Like,
Yeah.
Oh wait,
I'm
I'm sorry.
outside.
A 6 is a success, you guys.
yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
success
God.
at
It's just
stress.
stress.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
I was so convinced
Yeah.
that a 6 was a failure. Okay, so there is going to be stress marked, which that's my business, not yours.
But I do
And-
know what's happened, right?
Can I? Sorry, can I just say that because I'm outside, that I would like to whisper, safe word is pain.
Pain?
Pain.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would also like to remind you that I have left the room, so my sanctuary is gone.
Okay. Kelvy,
So you can just straight up say, Barnabas, come the fuck in. Once I'm coming, we don't need to be secret.
Kelvy, you don't take damage, but you find yourself unable to speak. You are essentially silenced. You try to talk and nothing happens. Yes, okay.
That renders Kelvy just like
And
I'm waiting. I'm holding, y'all. This isn't it yet.
yeah.
The second
Kelvy
we
just-
commit to plan B, there's no going back.
yeah, let's fuck him up.
Just wait. Minrai's waiting. I'm ready. I'm on a dime. The second any kind of physical harm begins to come by, I'm
She
gonna
said a word and made him totally silent. They're
What if he's like me?
Kelvy,
They
What if he
have-
can kill
they
someone
just-
with one hit?
They have like crazy
Then it's
magic
too late.
silencing powers that
Just
can
wait,
talk to the
just
dead.
wait.
Faisal
just wait.
approaches Kelvy, and he kind of rubs his hands like this and like flexes his fingers a little. And he reaches out and he kind of pats you on the side of your head. And it is not a gentle, kind pat. This is a like power move. I'm fucking, treating you like you're my bitch. And he pulls your mask off. And he's like, a silver tongue, but is there literally silver under your tongue? And he starts to like force your mouth open.
All right, Minra is going to say, I hope you are not going to cause him too much pain. Be quick.
And I immediately go back in through that door.
There's guards.
Okay.
Bro, like
The guards aren't at the door. I go back into the door.
They're not.
Yeah,
They're blocking the hallway to get out.
They're blocking the hallway, so we can't get out.
We are going to enter combat because Faisal is going to make an attack against Kelvy. So
Do we
Faisal
roll
will take
initiative? Or
nope.
is that
Faisal will take the
oh.
first action, and then we will progress via kind of like it's kind of like narrative what makes the most sense for like the next thing. So I'll probably pick the next person, and then we'll continue like
Okay.
that. With
I
who
did
gets to
say
take
pain
actions.
before his attack started, so hopefully Barnabas will come in quick.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll see. I also have to pee, and it's your fault, Elise, for making me drink so much. So I will return very shortly. I hope that I don't miss too much. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'll be quick.
A 7. So
Ooh, you're dead.
Faisal
Just saying. I'm tangled.
Faisal, after kind of doing this to you, then pulls from his belt, which is something you have not seen. This was a concealed weapon, which is very strange because it is a large weapon. It was concealed in such a way that, like, as he's drawing it, it seems like it is being drawn from somewhere else. Like this is occult magic that has hidden this. It is a beautifully crafted silver sword. And he right, yes, he will let me roll damage for Kelvy. Oh god, you are such a lucky motherfucker. I could have been 8. Yeah, you take 8 blood damage.
2.
Sorry, 2, not 8. Everybody's like, panic!
What?
Kelvy takes... Okay.
Is there a multiplier on this?
Wait, did they cut out Kelvy's tongue?
No.
Aw.
He goes to kind of just stab Kelvy. And Kelvy, what does that put your stress at?
Wait,
puts you at 3 total.
3.
Okay, yeah, that's fine, actually. Get stabbed. I have an ability to be there.
Okay.
If at all feasible.
You do not take fallout from this. Barnabas, you will act next because you heard the safe word.
Tell me if this is enough of too much to do in one action, basically. I would like to open the door quickly to let Sweet Pea in. And then I want to close it and bar it and bamf to Ulrich.
Yeah, you can do all that, and we'll say that's your turn for this round. Okay. So Sweet Pea is
in. So I let Sweet Pea in the door,
you
and
bar
then I
the door,
bamf
and
to Ulrich.
You are now with Ulrich. Okay. Rick, you act next.
I pull out my gun that Kelvy gave me.
Yes.
And I pull the trigger on Rochelle.
Okay. Go ahead and roll fight and
this
low
is
society.
pretty exciting. If you have any magic to use it now, folks.
All of my magic is situational.
I also
combat.
want you to know that this will be at difficulty. So just keep that in mind. Because I don't want you to like get like something and celebrate and then find out I'm gonna be like, I'm taking that away from you. So just so you know, this will
is
be
it a difficulty because they have a difficulty rating, or
yes?
Okay, I just wanted to know how that worked.
Yes, they have a difficulty rating.
So I'm rolling low society and fight, both of which I have
so
right
3
now.
to 10.
1 shot per combat, damage 2 times, take the highest. Okay. Here we go.
Just punched my
3d10.
cat.
Please don't suck.
Don't punch your cat.
Okay.
Yes!
Oh yeah.
So,
Fuck yeah.
this
All right.
is your
Well,
highest.
wait. She
So
said
yeah,
it was
with
a
difficulty, the difficulty 2, which is actually the max difficulty you can have in this game.
Okay.
So, difficulty 2, but that is still a success. However, it will result in Rick taking stress from like it's a 7, not a 9, right? So a 7 means
So you
success
get
at a
stressed,
stress.
right?
But you successfully shoot Rochelle, and how much damage do you do?
It
Infinite.
is
2d6.
Don't worry,
And
my
then-
next turn I can help
yeah, a
with this.
d6. I'm
And you
gonna
get to
roll
roll
2
twice
d6
and take the
then we
highest, right?
My next turn I can help, but
Nice.
All right. Y'all, that was a lucky fucking shot. Rochelle goes down.
what?
What?
Rochelle goes down. And Rick, you are going to take stress.
Before I take the stress,
Yes.
I point the gun at Faisal. Let him go, or the next one's into your skull. He doesn't know there's only 1 shot.
Okay.
Ah,
I'm gonna roll your stress. I think we need to. All right, let me roll stress, and then I will. You take a blowback as Rochelle goes down. You see the occult energy that has been masking them from your sight that made them hard to focus on to shoot. That's essentially where the difficulty 2 came from, right? Is that like you cannot focus on this person well enough to shoot. They go down, and as that occult energy is expelled, it is essentially like a curse style like response of like if the caster dies while this spell is active, it will retaliate against the person who killed them. And Rick, you will take 5 blood.
Hold on. So I just did the whole resist against magical effects as like. Does
You
that
can-
come into play?
Yes,
Play
you
here.
can roll resist. So you can roll 2d10. If you are successful, it will reduce the damage down to a d3. So I would roll again on a d3.
Okay. Yes. I don't see the roll.
It's a 3. So you take
Okay.
3 blood. What does that put your total stress at?
Total stress
Question.
will be at 5.
what is this stress 2?
Blood.
Doesn't that automatically go down by a D whatever since we're
No,
Hennis
or
left
Hennis
the
not in the room with
Hennis
us?
isn't in the room anymore.
I left.
Damn it, Hennis!
You are safe from fallout for that.
I would also like to say that as this is happening is when Barnabas just fucking shows up out of my shadow. And like I am and face is probably dripping in blood. So like this has to be like somewhat intimidating when I'm holding my gun and a mysterious stand appears next to me with a bloody mouth.
Yep.
Okay, and all right, so Rick, you can roll compel, which would be an intimidation, to see if you can influence Faisal here to let Kelvy go.
So
it would
this
be
is-
high society against Faisal.
Okay, so high plus compel plus a regular
Yes.
D10.
3d10. Eight.
Is this at a difficulty
it's at-
rating of 2?
It's at a
Even
difficulty.
it's still a success.
A difficulty rating of 1. It is still a success. You see Faisal kind of step back from Kelvy, and that is the end of your turn. It is now the guard's turn. Let me see. Guard 1 is going
They
to.
all have to take D6
If they enter the room.
Yeah.
Guard 1 is going to shoot Hennis with a crossbow.
I'm going to use my skill ability thing, Secret of the Second Skin. So if you would roll to inflict stress, I just take 1 instead.
Okay. So yes, the guard does in fact shoot you. You take 1, and that's fine. I will mark that. Okay. The second guard is going to approach Hennis and raise. He has a club that he raises against you. Hey, man, I'm rolling so bad tonight. I mean, like, I know this is still a success, but it sucks. Like, it's like always with like the caveat. Okay, and this is a brutal weapon, so I'm going to roll twice and take the higher.
Still end up as 1 stress.
God. So 3. Is it reduced again, or is that?
I'm pretty sure that's just a one-time
It's
thing.
a one-time thing. Okay.
Once per situation, yeah.
Okay, so you would take Hennis 3 blood from that.
That'll put me at 5 stress.
Okay. I will roll Fallout. 5, which we've been saying it has to be under, so a 4
Yeah.
would have been stress. Okay. And the third guard is going to stand, kind of shove his way over here, and aim his gun into the room and shoot at Rick.
Can I do anything to get in the way?
No, you are currently being bludgeoned with a club. This is
What's
all kind
a
of
little
happening
bludgeoning on a
at the
Saturday
same time. And he will shoot at Rick with a gun. Of all the times for my Roll20 luck to just completely run out, like everybody
He shot himself literally in the foot.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, and with that, the guards have now gone. Hennis, you're up.
I am going to use surprise infiltration and insert myself into a situation that I could possibly conceivably ever get into.
Yes.
Right over here.
Uh-huh.
And then also declare this room under my protection, since last time I declared it, it was last session, and it's once per session.
Fine. I almost put the caveat when I said yes earlier that you couldn't use it again this session, and I was like, no, that's not fair. So.
Well, I'm glad that you did.
Yep.
And then if there's not room by the door, I'll stay where I am. Otherwise, I would want to prevent the guards from entering if I could, like try to.
Okay, so just kind of like stand and bar the entry in case the guards try to follow you in.
You don't want to one-shot kill Faisal?
If you guys also
the action of
Oh.
kind of putting the room under the protection, I'm saying is what you've done this turn.
Is his
So
action, yeah.
I
Yeah.
do have an ability that lowers difficulties of the people we're fighting too. So if it gets back to me, I could make it so that it's hopefully easier for us to hit him.
Not if we're out of magic.
I've
Yeah,
been
no.
Well,
not-
we killed the main
No.
magic user in the room. Of
Yes.
course.
Right.
No, because
Minrai.
Farquaad has occult.
Cult.
and he's
You
got
guys don't know that yet.
Wait,
Minrai,
all right, you didn't tell
it
us.
is your turn, Minrai.
I know he has magic items.
True. Yeah.
Minrai, what you doing on your turn?
I'm crying. I think Minrai will. I mean, I guess if possible, I'd like to help block the. Oh man, I don't know. This is rough. Okay, yeah. Here's what I'll do. I guess. Can I flank Faisal somehow? Like.
Yeah, you can get over there.
Okay, so I'll get over there and I will draw 2 scimitars that I keep hidden under my wifey vests, and I will slash at him. It's concealable and unreliable. So it's like fight and that's it, or what is it?
Are those those scimitars' names?
So unreliable, I think, means if you fail your attack roll, they break.
Yeah, but I can't remember what I'm supposed to. I know it's D6.
Oh, fight. Yeah. So first you have to roll fight. And you're attacking Faisal, so high society. And I suppose low society also works because you are technically still in low society. So either one. And let me double check. Unreliable. When you fail an action, it cannot be used for the remainder of the situation. Okay, so
a crit, 2 crits,
2 crits.
His head
explodes. Double crit.
He has no more head.
Faisal has a difficulty rating of 2. Your crits are unfortunately negated. Damn. As cool as that would have been, because it would have been you get to inflict extra stress per d10.
But it's still a no stress.
You cannot crit against someone at. Yes, it is still a no stress success, which is very impressive against a difficulty 2. All right, and go ahead and roll your damage.
I'll drop a one-liner. You should have taken the conversation, friend. Boom. 1 damage.
Give him a paper cut.
Hey, 1 damage can add up if I do it like 10 times. He'll be dead. Okay. My 1 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you drive the scimitar in. It connects with his armor, but does not seem to connect with flesh underneath. So you've done damage to the armor, but just so you know, like, he doesn't even really, I mean, like, he kind of winces from the strength of the blow, but is otherwise unaffected. Okay, Kelvy. You can speak now. Rochelle is dead. The effect of the spell is gone.
Right. So Kelvy's just gonna, get up, just very casually, stroll on up to Faisal, and as I'm walking, I'm gonna take a stress to blood to give myself some bone spurs on the old hands.
What does that bring your total stress to?
That's gonna bring my total stress to
6, right?
I think I have 5.
It's gonna bring it to 4.
Oh, okay. Who was it? It was Hennis that had 5. That's right.
Okay, but I don't think that I roll Fallout on you taking that, right? The voluntary blood.
It doesn't say to.
I mean, usually it's any stress you take, and some things say don't roll Fallout on it.
It does not say that.
All right, then I'm gonna roll it.
Your Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Okay, you're safe.
Great. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to stab him with my bones.
Yeah, do it. Stab him with your bones.
That's
great. That is a 3 technically at difficulty 2, which puts. Why do I keep misplacing my fucking notes about all of this shit? So yes, that is failure takes stress. So you go to do this. And his armor is just too good for these bone spurs, at least where you're connecting, right? You'll have to find a better angle. You are going to take. Oh my god, please. All right, new keyboards are so hard to adjust to. 3 stress to mind as
then it should go down 1.
This should go down 1?
5.
Oh, that's right, because you did do the thing again. Okay, so you take 1 stress to mind. As this happens, because you are embracing the bug, you are simultaneously having to fight off a lot of the compulsion to kind of just, like, do the weird and, like, ignore this situation. Like, it's too high stakes, and that's where the mind stress comes from, which puts you at 5 stress. So I'm going to roll Fallout again. A 4 or lower this time will result in Fallout.
Okay.
You are fine. Okay. We are back at the top of the order. It is now Faisal's turn. Faisal is going to reach onto his belt, pull something off of it, and toss it at the ground. I need everybody to roll resist. It is not a magical effect.
He's Batman.
It's a flashbang. Everyone cover your eyes.
Oh, resist? I don't think I have.
Oh no!
Ooh,
What's the
I
domain?
crit.
Resist does not have a domain.
Yeah.
Oh,
It has a
Yes!
resist though, which I have.
Oh, Hannah's buddy.
Oh, is this a
And
this is what I'm
difficulty or
here
is it
for.
just regular?
What?
Is this a difficulty or is it just regular?
It's regular.
Hennis is
Okay.
officially blind.
We all passed.
Except
No.
for
Except for
Hennis.
Hennis. Except for
Hennis-
Hennis.
No,
I mean,
we didn't.
I just don't do well with resist.
And Kelvy rolled a 5.
oh shit, I missed
Yeah,
that.
we've
too.
never done well with resist.
Okay. Kelvy and Hennis are both stunned for a turn.
Oh,
You are essentially getting skipped. The rest of you are not stunned. However, you cannot see for a moment. Like it's essentially just his turn for y'all that you can't see. And Rick, you may make a second resist roll, also not a magical effect.
Wait, do I get anything for a
Do
crit?
I do it too? Because I also got 7, just like Rick.
No. You don't
Okay.
need to, Rachel and Ava. Your crit, how should I?
I got a crit.
Nice. You feel. Let me think about your crit, Ava. You can inflict stress with your crit. How about? So you can roll a. How does that work? I forget.
Can I make him roll resist with my crit? Can I like bonk his head so he looks at it just at the right time? Like he has to keep his eyes open, like with like a weird like movement or something,
No.
so he gets hit by his own flashbang kind of deal.
Oh no.
Okay.
You can
Because I
just,
thought-
you're essentially taking an attack of opportunity, is what I would say.
Okay,
So
okay,
like
okay.
whatever your weapon damage is.
Okay.
You can roll that. And Rick, this was to Faisal was trying to move past you. You couldn't see him, but you were able to feel or like sense or like because he bumped into you, and you were quick enough on your feet to if you want to physically block his path.
He takes 3.
Yeah, not today. No, not today. And I just like immediately brush up and like position myself. I assume he was trying to get to the door.
Yes, that seems to
Yes.
be the case.
Does Sweet Pea get her own turn?
She'll go on mine.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, right?
But if you're
Um,
stunned, does Sweet Pea
I'm
still
not
get a
stunned. I
turn?
passed.
Yeah, so it's
Oh, okay.
Barnabas, it's your
Yeah.
turn.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
So you let Hennis do his thing where he could go into the room, and then he did the thing where he set the room on a thing. So can I do an ability and then an attack? My ability is not an attacky ability; it's just a laugh.
Yes.
Okay. So also, like, Sweet Pea is of her own accord going to run towards me,
Okay.
just because she's Sweet Pea. And I am going to. Oh, so I've had this.
She
since the beginning.
effortlessly weaves between my legs, unlike Lord
Yeah.
Faisal.
I've had this ability since the beginning and never been able to use it. I am going to cackle. I mark
Okay.
D3 stress to mind or blood to unleash a nightmarish cackle in concert with my hyena that strikes fear into the hearts of your enemies and anyone else within earshot. For the next minute or so, if your enemies have a difficulty rating, it is 1 lower.
Okay.
yeah.
You don't have to roll the D3, it goes down a dice size.
Okay, so that would be just 1 then, right?
So mark 1 to which
But
one are
then
you?
question, because I have an ability that says when you take stress to blood, take 1 stress less than you would have than the result rolled. Oh, to a minimum of 1.
To
So I still
okay.
take 1.
Okay.
So are you taking it to mind or blood?
I'll take it to blood. I have resistance still, so
So you're still at no stress. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I will so I basically Sweet Pea runs up and together we both just unleash this like hideous hyena cackle just like reverberates through the fucking room in the hallway.
Okay.
And then I straight up slash at Faisal with my war cleaver.
Okay. You do not have access to Faisal.
I thought you said.
look at the map and,
Oh,
and tell me how you're slashing through bodies to
Throw your
get to
axe.
him.
can I not like? I don't know. Okay.
No,
I mean,
you
each
can-
space,
Wait.
each space is technically 5 feet, so I assumed that we could like share a space if I could step next to him or something.
And also, Rochelle isn't even there.
Oh, well,
she's
yeah,
dead.
Rochelle, yeah, but okay.
Or they're dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
their body is kind of collapsed over here, but that's not actually the person
Right.
who was.
So my
Yeah.
thought was that the squares are technically 5 feet. So could I just stand next to Rick in that square because we would not be 5 feet across, standing next to each other.
Theoretically speaking, I am also in the doorway, right?
Where I am, because there wasn't room for my token, but I was blocking the
Right.
door.
So you can say no, but my thought was since the squares are 5 feet, is I could stand next to him.
I will allow this, and I'm going to raise the difficulty back to 2 for it because you are crowded up in space trying to maneuver a war cleaver amongst your friends. And so his
Just
difficulty
for
level.
Faisal or for everyone?
No, just
No,
for this
just-
attack.
Just for this attack.
Yes.
Faisal still has it as
Faisal is
only
1
one now.
and now
Yeah.
you are rolling a difficulty 2 for this attack.
Okay. I don't have fight because y'all convinced me not to take it.
Ah,
Because you said in the narrative it made more sense. So yeah.
Sure does.
So I think I just well, what's the domain?
Low
high or low
or high
society because you're rolling
Okay,
against
so I could roll
Faisal
2.
or- yes, 2d10.
Okay.
7 minus 2 is
It's
5.
a failure.
It's a failure. So you will instead take. I guess it's reduced down to just 1. Mark 1 to blood.
Okay, it's my last resistance, and I.
Okay, so you're still at 0. Okay.
Yep.
And Rick, you're up. I just want to say that it's like it twinges your back because you're like trying to reach around Rick. It's like, oh,
Oh God!
That's your blood.
I'm back.
I'm an old man. So
Don't forget, you still have my the poison dagger I gave you, which is 1d3 ongoing.
Oh, I know that I had a knife, but that was just my regular knife. I didn't mark about you for some stupid reason. Didn't mark your dagger. Could you repeat that? for me?
Yeah, I gave you that at the end of last session because I had my bone spurs, so I didn't need
Bone
the
spurs.
My bone spurs.
Yeah.
Bone
So what
spurs.
was that?
So it's a poison dagger, and it's 1d3 ongoing.
So each turn, after the first turn that you use it, you can roll a d3 for continued stress.
And so, but does it get an additional an initial damage? Is it
It's
like
a
the initial
d3
damage?
for the initial damage, and then if that's a successful hit, then Faisal is poisoned for ongoing. Yes.
Any chance I could move to attempt to restrain him?
Yeah. That would still be a fight roll.
Yeah.
So fight and lower high society.
Yeah, I kind of want to like pounce on him and try to restrain him.
Okay.
Which I would prefer to do over the dagger in this moment, because if I can keep him restrained for a turn, then I'm just gonna fuck his brain. Yeah. All right. So this is 3d10. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
That works.
At difficulty 1, so this is with stress. So yeah, you kind of throw yourself onto Faisal and hold on to him in order to restrain him. Yeah, we will consider him restrained for until your next turn, and then we'll kind of, or something else happens, or his turn, and he can strike you off. Right?
So I'm supposed to roll for stress, but it's
Oh yeah.
dice size 1 lower than
That's a
whatever. It's
That's a
supposed to be.
very good move. Yeah. I think what this will be is in the struggle to kind of get Faisal under control, he like slams you back before you're able to fully get control of him. And you like crush into the wall a bit and hurt yourself in the process, so you can mark 1 to blood. And that will be it for Rick's turn. It's now the guard's turn.
Don't I roll Fallout?
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yes. What is your total stress level?
6 now.
6, because you just marked. Okay. So okay.
Maybe I shouldn't have said
Oops,
anything
I
there,
just
but
threw
I
it-
did.
I threw the wrong dice. I'm sorry. 10.
I had no
Try
chance with that
again.
one.
Yeah.
Yes!
You guys are scraping by with these rolls.
But be careful,
This is
because the
so
higher your
funny.
stress gets without Fallout, the worse your
the worse the
Fallout
Fallout
is.
gets.
Yeah.
This is
You
true.
want Fallout now, because next time you might die.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't
We'll be
want
okay.
Fallout when I'm on top
Period.
of him.
Okay. Guard. The first guard.
Yeah, you don't want it to fall out when you're on top.
No.
Is going to
We don't want to follow when we're on bottom either.
move over here. And take a shot at Rick with his crossbow.
Am I no longer in the doorway?
Yeah, didn't Hennis move to the doorway, but like...
Yeah, he said that he was
So-
trying to block
Like
all
here.
of the
Are
guards.
you
If that's-
inside or outside of the room?
Inside the room.
I don't know if there's space.
Yeah, I really don't think that. Like,
Okay.
I'm the 5 foot thing. Like, this is not D&D rules. The squares are more of just like
Mhm.
aligning. I'm not really. Plus, even in D&D rules, you can't occupy the same space unless you're both small. So, I
But-
think that there's.
Yeah.
But it's not D&D.
Not space.
So I mean, people can be in the doorway. Like, if Hennis wants to, if you want to say like Hennis crowded in and like Rick is technically the one on the other side or something.
I'm also technically like in the
On
same
top of
square
Faisal.
yeah,
as
like grappling
Faisal
Faisal.
now.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
we
so you
can
would have
permit
moved
that,
out of the doorway,
in
and
which
it's either
case-
me or Hennis in the doorway.
Hennis, okay, I'll accept that.
Hennis was stunned though, right?
Hennis is stunned.
Okay.
But
so you're
that's
saying before he moved, or?
yeah. I mean, this
Because
is
otherwise, okay.
we're just gonna take this as where people are.
Sure.
So Hennis is stunned. And the guard is going to roll his attack with his crossbow. That's a critical success. You will take double damage on a d6.
Oh, and you don't reduce your own dice, do you?
Nope.
God, Hennis is gonna die.
Hey guys, I'm super gonna die.
No,
Oh.
you're actually fine. Don't worry.
Nope.
Okay.
Got this.
You take 12. I mean, it's like a straight through the brain type hit. This is severe
there
fallout. There is
any
no
way-
way to avoid severe fallout. Because
Yeah, I only have
anything-
18 stress.
But except for
I can't.
Minrai's ability,
I can't even use
Martyr,
my
which says,
narrative convenience here.
"Oh, that one might be actually better." Yeah.
Okay, tell me what it is.
Elise is
Yeah.
like,
So
"No."
once per session, when you or an ally suffer, oh, never mind. It's got to be shadow, reputation, or silver.
Okay, then it's my turn.
So
You
unfortunately, I cannot
sacrifice
do
your
anything
life
here.
inch by inch to safeguard the future of the drow. Once per session, when an ally takes fallout, you appear nearby so long as it would be even slightly feasible for you to do so. They ignore the effects of the fallout, and you take D6 stress to an appropriate resistance instead.
Okay.
I believe we need to look that
Shit.
one up, because I believe that if it's a severe fallout, it's just downgraded to moderate.
Okay, I can.
But I don't have it written down,
What's
which
the
is
name
why
of
I'm not
the
sure.
ability?
It's called Martyr. Martyr. I mean, I don't know why I'm spelling it. You're fucking Elise. Go for it, Elise.
Martyr. Ignore it,
MARTER,
take D6
yeah.
instead, once per
Yeah,
session.
I mean,
Martyr.
what? Please.
No, there is no caveat about it
There's none?
being.
Hey, cool. So instead of exploding into a fine mist, I'm just gonna have a headache for a little bit.
Okay,
And
and
does he lose his stress too then? Because he takes
No,
fallout, or-
you keep that stress. You just ignore. Well, you take the fallout. You
Okay,
ignore
then I
the
do.
effect.
So he'll
you,
still
you
lose some
ignore the
stress.
effects.
Oh,
so
so
you
he'll-
do
So you
yeah,
still
he'll
lose
you
the
lose
stress.
8, which still leaves you at 10.
Yep.
Fuck.
So okay,
Damn.
and here is Minrai's. You
Surprise.
take 5 stress to blood for this.
Okay.
And Minrai,
Shouldn't that go down one because I'm in the room?
no, this is a like it's
Yes.
no.
Any stress your allies would suffer to blood or mind.
Listen, you just got saved from getting one shot killed. Minrai's
Yeah,
taking
by
5
using
stress.
the rules of the book.
It's
I-
not one shot at this
You're
point.
trying to
I've
go
been taking
around the
stress all
written
night.
rules of
Here's
the book.
thing. The
Oh my gosh,
there
y'all.
the spirit of
Don't
that
argue
rule
with the
is like
DM.
if someone does something to you, these are abilities y'all are using that I've been like I haven't argued it so far because like your abilities saying mark, D whatever stress.
Yeah.
I don't know
No,
that I like
at least
that.
I think this is fair to give me the stress for it. It makes sense, especially in the fact that I'm preventing somebody from dying.
Right. I
I
I
don't
see
feel
what you're
good.
saying about and yeah, this is fine. I see what you're saying about the abilities, but like they're written that way. I don't really know how else we're supposed to use them
I
other
think that
than the
it's
way that
perfectly
they're
fair
written.
for interpretation, especially in the sense that like we have a
Yeah.
single rule book by which to go instead of like
Yeah.
18,000 pages of combat rules from D&D, right? Like this
Mhm.
is one of those situational things of like given the particular stakes of what's happening here, I'm just not inclined to,
man.
especially since like it's okay, anyway. So what does that put your total stress at, Minrai?
Wait, how much am I taking? Sorry.
You're taking 5.
To blood?
Yes.
That puts my total stress at 3.
Okay.
I'm kind of a legend.
Kind of a
Try not to
legend.
sweat it too much.
That was
Uh-huh.
D10.
Oh my god.
You're fine. Okay. All right.
I'm straight. I'm fine. I know I'm fine.
That is guard 1. Guard 2 with the club.
Uh-oh.
I'm
When
still
they
in the
attack
doorway.
Hedis again, he's gonna
hope
die
so.
now.
I
Um,
can
I'm still in the
only do
doorway.
it once.
Guard 2 is going to take a swing at Sweet Pea with his club.
You fucking dick! I'll cut your goddamn testicles off. I swear to God.
Okay, that's a success.
You monster.
You hurt my precious fucking.
Your precious
Uh,
what?
This is a brutal weapon, so people are upset.
Oh no.
The
Oh,
higher, so Sweet Pea
no.
takes 3 blood stress.
Okay, that's not too bad actually.
What is Sweet Pea's?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's fair.
I never wrote down stats for Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea is an immortal, lovely
She
being.
she has a lot of health at least.
She has
It's
a
gonna
lot
be a
of
tough
health.
kill.
Yeah, she's fine.
She's a healthy boy.
Healthy boy. So many
okay.
organs.
She has the biggest clitoris that you've ever
Oh
seen.
no, please.
So
That's a hyena fact.
Please.
Yeah, that is a hyena fact right there.
Yeah.
She has got the
Yeah,
biggest
that's-
clit.
Freaking hyena fact.
Oh,
She's
no.
got that big clit energy, Elise. You
And
cannot
so
kill
lit.
this bitch.
God, I'm
You
so
cannot
here
kill this
for
bitch.
it, but
Okay.
I'm here for it, but it's rough.
Sweet Pea does not go down, but Sweet Pea is hurt. Guard 3 is going to shoot Hennis. Actually,
No, he's not.
that's a fucking lie. Guard 3 is going to reload his goddamn gun, so...
Ah,
turn.
damn.
No.
Oh, Barnabas is going to turn all his rage away from fucking Faisal, and Guard 2 is going to get fucking...
Can you
Oh.
even see it though?
Oh, I know what's happening to Sweet Pea. She's right next
Okay.
to me.
Barnabas feels
Oh
it in
yeah,
his
you're
soul.
right.
All right,
Sorry.
Hennis, you have gone, or
That
you're
bitch
next?
is going to die.
You're next. It's Hennis's
Oh,
turn.
he's stunned, I think.
I am
Stunned.
stunned. Yes. I am
Wait.
stunned this round.
You're stunned. Okay. Who
Yeah.
else was stunned? Kelvy?
Mhm.
Okay. So, Minrai, you're up.
Cool beans. Minrai was
Faisal-
prepared
Fa-
for this
Faisal's-
eventuality.
Faisal's restrained on the ground. Any attacks on a person that's prone have advantage? What?
That's a D&D rule. You sneaky bean. Damn.
Cleaver to the nuts. Says go away.
Can I God damn it. Like I so badly want to use the anti-magic thing to prevent him from doing any sneaky bullshit, but at the same time it's like
It's saving our butts for a lot of the things.
But yeah, like the
Mhm.
magic is necessary, and the one-shot kill is not available without magic.
I have him restrained. If I can maintain that by my next turn, shit's over for him.
Yeah, but if he uses if he
If he
throws
gets
out like a magic dawn pod that turns us into clothing.
Okay, what are you
like,
doing, Minrai?
Minrai is going to take both of her scimitars down and stab them directly into Lord Farquaad with no regard for Ulrich's life.
All right, make your attack roll.
I'll think about it. All right, here we
I'll
go.
think about it. What?
I couldn't find the tab. It's in my screen. I need 3 monitors minimum. All
Moo.
right.
I
Here's
have
the roll.
2, but
I have one.
So that's not great.
That's at difficulty 1, which means
It's a
this is a
5.
failure. You
Does the difficulty 1 go away because he's restrained?
No, it's not related to his ability
what
to.
combat conditions are restrained? Like, what does that imply?
He's not going anywhere.
He cannot move without first getting out of
Okay.
restraint, and will have essentially like if he attempts to attack something or do something, will have to do so, with essentially, a higher DC or disadvantage. Like it will be against difficulty for him to attempt to attack somebody this next round. Or
So then can we say that I tried to stab, and because my weapons are unreliable, I can't use them next turn. So
Yeah.
they just he wiggled a little bit and they went past him into the ground, and I have to fucking goddamn it.
Yes, and you can
Icon.
mark 1 stress for the failure to.
Silver. It's a real rough round, but I'll have to take it, huh?
Blood, which puts you at 4.
Yeah, it puts me at 4.
Okay. Roll.
Oh, no.
Hey, that's good.
Fine. Guys have gotten real lucky. It's technically Calvi's turn, but Calvi's stunned. Which makes it Faisal's turn.
Yep.
Faisal is going to lash out with his sword. Restrained as he is, it will be at difficulty against Calvi. Focus now on
Sure.
that.
That's fair. He's got a nice.
Let me amend. Faisal is going to first throw himself backwards into the wall to attempt to break Rick's grapple. So this is going to be a fight.
Is
I
this
should
like
have
a
assisted with
are
the
we doing like a
grapple.
contest, kind of like what?
So
I was thinking kind of like what Amandu and Hennis did.
was that ever a grapple? That was more of like a
That was fighting.
collaborative fight.
That was
fighting, yeah.
fighting. Yeah.
Oh,
God damn it!
Oh, wow.
Are those really good rolls? I haven't
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
yet, but that
It's a 10,
sounds like
yeah.
it could be really good.
Okay. Before you freak out, that wasn't difficulty, so that's a 9, not a 10. So there's that. That throw back is going to roll resist, Rick.
Do I get an
Non-magical
attack of
fight.
Is it
opportunity if he
non-magical?
tries to
No,
run away?
it's non-magical. Magical. If Rochelle had lived.
Cool.
Okay, so that's a success. So we'll play this way. Because you will hold on as best you can. And when the struggle of him doing this is enough to break him free, which it is, it essentially, that's his turn. He broke free from you. There would have been other consequences to that, but your good resist roll prevented those, which puts us back at Barnabas. Also, Faisal and Rick sharing this space is going to make things more difficult in terms, because for the same reason as like Barnabas and Rick sharing a space made things harder for Barnabas. Just so you know. Okay, go ahead, Barnabas. Is
My
Rick-
turn.
Okay, I was like, is she there?
Yeah,
I
sorry.
mean, since he's gotten himself free, is he still in the same space as me?
Yes, because it was enough of everything that just happened, like, that we're in that turn for him that, like, he was not able to, like, get away in the same turn or anything, so we're saying he's currently was stationary through that end of that turn. So Barnabas is up.
So, like, it's rough because I know that the whole thing is that we're fighting Faisal and that we're supposed to kill him. But I feel like if somebody just straight up came and did that much damage to Sweepy right next to me, that I would turn to him and try to fucking cut. I would go absolutely berserk on that person.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna attack guard number 2. Like, so I'm
Okay.
gonna go and kind
This
of
is
be with
guard 2.
Sweepy here, and I'm just gonna fucking just war cleaver the fuck out of his there. I don't know why. I always assume military people are men, which
Military
is
men.
terrible, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Nah.
Sweepy can also act on your
No.
turn, which means Sweepy can, like, move from here.
Critical success hit, motherfucker.
Very nice. All right. So that is
Okay, so that's a D6.
Okay.
So is that 2D6 or no? I double it.
Let me check what it is because we do combat so frequently that I have no fucking clue.
I'm gonna be right back.
Yes, we are over time, which we should talk about. But yeah, please, if you need to, like, run off and use the bathroom and stuff, by all means, do so.
I'm going to kill this fucking guard so bad.
Where is my information about rolling a 10? Inflict +1 stress for each 10 you roll. So you will just add 1 to whatever you do here.
Okay. So I think it's just a D6.
Yep.
Yes.
Is it brutal? Do you roll twice and take the
I
higher?
do not have a brutal,
Okay.
no.
Cool.
But I do have a special ability, but we'll see if it activates.
Okay.
It does not. So my special ability is Rip and Tear, and if I roll a 1, I can re-roll it, and if I rolled a 6, I can roll again and add to it. But I rolled a 4.
But you do 5 damage to him?
I do 5 damage to him.
He goes down.
Yeah, so basically
Woof.
he like swipes into Sweet Pea, and she's like, dog cry. And Barnabas just turns around and his eyes are just like fucking red. And he's just like, I will gut you like a goddamn fish, you son of a bitch. And he just like takes his war cleaver and just slices it down through his whole fucking body. Just like full on, like, and then like just looks at the other 2 guards next to him.
Beautiful. Does Sweet Pea do anything?
Can we try and intimidate them? Sweet Pea gives me a bonus on intimidation.
Yeah, sure. Roll intimidate.
Okay.
Rip and tear.
Yeah, so Sweet Pea gives me
Like mastery
growl.
Intimidate.
Yeah, so I have mastery. So I should be able to roll 4 then?
Yep, because you have compel, you have mastery, you have the domain, and
So glad. We'll see. This might be the first time I pass compel, maybe?
Drum roll. Don't jinx it. 8.
It is.
Okay.
So I'm just like
I'm
blood splattered across my face, Sweet Pea dripping in blood and growling next to me with this guy's viscera on the floor, and I just look at them and I'm like, don't even fucking try it.
Okay. They are intimidated. I would like to take a second to note that we are at time. We can pause here and finish combat next week. Because I want to respect people's time, especially East Coast folks. Or we can finish this combat. What is the preference?
I 100% defer to Tyler here.
Yeah, he's the East Coast. And...
I'm good. I'm good
right.
if we want to push through.
Let's push
Yeah.
through. We're
Yeah.
going late. Ava, you're good with that?
Yes.
Okay. I saw other people's nods. I didn't see if you did, so I wanted to make sure that, like, everyone
I'm really
except
tired,
you got to.
but I'm really excited. So
Okay.
let's push through. I
right.
got most of my important work stuff done already this week. So I
You
can
don't
do that
work
tomorrow.
after this time. That's fine. You did your 8 hours for the day, so you're done. That's how wages
That's how work works.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's how it works.
I'm gonna fucking come to your house and put you to bed. Don't work over hours. It's just not worth it. There's no
I
reason.
don't even get compensated for overtime because I'm a.
So don't
Yeah, isn't
work,
that the
Ava.
best part of capitalism, everyone? the
Don't
incentive to
work
work more than is humanly possible
when
for
you're not
more money.
compensated. And also live your life. Don't make work your
I'm
life.
living life so hard right now. I don't
I'm just
even know.
okay. I will keep going, but I won't.
I love
So,
y'all.
it's Rick's turn, and Ava will do no more work tonight.
No more work tonight. I'm not doing work right now. I'm doodling the apartments for Derelictus.
Great.
Um,
It's Rick's turn.
so, quick question: Was Rick able to hear what Barnabas was doing in the hall?
Yeah.
There's a lot of squelching.
Are the guards still right in front of Barnabas
Yes.
and Sweet Pea?
Yep. There's no space for them to go pretty much anywhere else. On their turn, they can act, but it's not their turn. So they are intimidated and currently standing in front of Barnabas. Y'all are so lucky you took her shell out in one fucking hit. Are you kidding?
Yeah, thank you fucking
I was gonna
Rick
say,
for
It
that.
didn't.
shit.
It helped also that like
Nay.
Kelvy, that roll against you, she took. I think she, because like y'all never clocked her, but it is a woman. She, if you had asked her pronouns, she would have told you she her. But she took 2 stress from that roll against you, because it was success but at a cost. And that,
Okay.
that put her killable one
Yeah.
hit range, because she's a glass cannon, you know. So
Right.
anyway, I'm sorry that I got sidetracked saying that, but I'm just like, oh, I wanted her to have a moment and she didn't get it.
Thank you, guys. Nuts.
Anyway, I'm so sorry, Sam, that I interrupted your turn. Rick, what is Rick doing?
So Faisal has just gotten himself free, and I imagine he's looking at least a little bit disheveled after everything, right?
Oh yeah, yes.
For sure. Before like making a physical move, can I take a bonus action to say something to him?
Yeah, you can talk to him.
Okay, everyone's my computer just like freaked out and I couldn't see anyone, but now everyone's back. So I'm not holding the gun anymore because I know it's pointless, but it served its purpose. It got Kelvy free. I'm now holding up the poison dagger, kind of very threateningly, and I'm like, you have no friends, Faisal. I know you care deeply about your reputation, but what matters more, your reputation or your life?
His reputation matters. You should really just be threatening him. How will it look if you get killed by a bunch of freaking dark elves, you bitch?
Yeah. Can we just retcon and say that you said that in that moment too?
Yeah. Do you want to roll compel here? Is the intent to?
Yeah. I the intent is to get him to back off of this fight.
Okay. Yeah. Roll compel.
High society.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes! Fuck yeah!
But also, we're totally not letting him walk out of here alive.
Oh,
right? Like,
no,
we are
no,
gonna
no,
stab him in the back
no.
the second he puts his
No,
weapons away,
we're
right?
not.
All right. So this is at difficulty. This is not an easy thing to convince this man to do, right? So I just want to put that on the table. Like it, but you don't take stress from it because crit means even with difficulty, you're still in the no stress range. And he's going to drop the tip of his sword down so it is no longer held up. And we'll resolve the rest of that success on his next turn, but you do see an immediate effect of this intimidation tactic of like, yeah, okay.
I reach into my pocket and toss a healing potion of some kind to Hennis because I have my healer's kit. Is there any can I roll fix?
You would have to roll fix. You can roll fix and low society.
Yeah, because I don't have spells that heal that don't take prep time. Okay.
Would this require action on my part during my turn?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
This is Rick slapping a Band-Aid on you. Oh, that is beautiful. That is not.
Those have been some good rolls.
You
Did
got
someone just say a Band-Aid brand Band-Aid?
finally, yeah. Finally, that critical is a real critical, and you can roll.
Say it.
Here's
Say
what
the
we'll
Band-Aid
do.
brand Band-Aid. This is a sponsored stream.
Sponsored stream by Band-Aid brand. Okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll max out 1 die for the critical, so 3 stress from that, and you can roll another D3 to essentially for the crit. Does that make sense? So like we're essentially rolling.
No, I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm
so
rolling.
Roll a
because
D3, add it to 3.
Yes, D3 plus 3.
Or
Okay.
check this. You can deal that stress to Faisal. Like you put the Band-Aid on your hand, ready to slap it on the Hennis.
Just slap Faisal as you go.
Faisal on the way, and then you hit Hennis with it. So you slap it right on the wound.
Band-Aids don't hurt people, Minrai. They only
Band-Aid
help
brand
you.
Band-Aids don't hurt people, but the back of a hand sure does.
Cross channel.
All right. D3 plus 3.
So /r space D3 plus 3. Where did that go?
It's just taking.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey, next roll.
success! Congratulations.
Yeah, so is that Hennis down to 4 now? Was that to Hennis that you healed or yourself?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that
I'm down to 3.
Down to
Hey,
3.
that
Yes.
was
You
clutch.
straight up were at 18 fucking stress, and now you're
And you
at
wouldn't
3
let
and
me
you're
die.
5.
Okay.
You need to kill Faisal and then you can die.
Calvi,
With your
before
one
we
shot.
move on, Calvi, I need you to roll resist.
Sure.
That is a
That's
failure.
part of the course.
Kelvy, what the fuck?
Kelvy explodes
sorry.
into a bug.
This
Did you
is
see all those 10s that I just rolled? You're supposed to follow that pattern.
the damage on this is already reduced. 3. You're going to take 3 blood stress as the effects of the intentioned to heal you drugs plus intention to help you shrug off those which we forgot to mention in the recap drugs as you have been stressing your body and pushing it to its limits, this is catching up to you, and you feel like a bout of sudden weakness, like your stomach cramps, your head starts to ache, your muscles start to freeze up a bit, and you will take 3 blood stress from that, which puts your total stress at
8.
8. We're gonna roll that stress.
And I'm going to, before you roll for Fallout, I'm going to elect to take an extra D3 of stress to not get Fallout right now.
God damn.
Can't you only do that if it's the permanently weird? Oh no, that's something else. What is that from? How can you do that?
That is from Our Lady's Grace. After you take stress, but before the GM rolls for Fallout, you may elect to take an additional D3 stress. If you do, the GM does not roll for Fallout, and you escape repercussions for now.
Kelvy's
Okay.
gonna die.
And we'll reduce it because of Hennis's, so it's 1. You take 1 stress to blood.
Okay.
It is Rick's turn is done. It's now the guards' turn. The guards are intimidated by Barnabas.
They're gonna unionize.
And Sweet Pea,
And
Sweet
Sweet
Pea.
Pea.
Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea's there, growling at them.
Okay.
Something fierce.
Guard 1 is going to Guard 1 is going to run for the door. And finds it locked.
Bard.
Bard. Guard 3 is going to duck.
See, look at all the plan coming together with the door locking and you going out.
Because they could have gone and got somebody else,
Okay,
but now
Guard 3
they
is going
can't
to
leave.
duck into this room, peek out, and take a shot at Barnabas.
Just saying, y'all made fun of my million plans, but
Oh,
who's using a million
bitch.
plans now? We are.
Okay, that is a crit success. You're going to take
Sure
double
is.
damage on this.
I thought it was just +1.
Oh, man, when it rains, it pours.
You're
You
right.
told me
I'm
that crit
thinking of
damage was
I'm thinking
+1.
of critical failures, which are yes. Okay.
Okay.
So yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
You'll
And the
take
dice is reduced by 1,
6.
right?
You're not in the
Not
room anymore.
Oh.
Woof. Woof, woof,
All
woof,
right,
So I'll
woof,
take
six
woof,
five.
to
So
blood.
woof.
it actually reduces by 1
Okay, so 5 to
because
blood.
Sweet Pea is guarding me. But that is a full 5 stress because I am full now.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will roll Fallout.
Guarding you from bullets? Y'all, Sweet Pea's kind of the coolest.
7. So you
Good.
are safe.
Yeah, Sweet Pea guards me from if I take any blood damage, she reduces it. 'Cause
Okay.
she's badass.
Hennis, it is your turn.
So, can you tell me over the table
Yes.
what I would roll to try and restrain Faisal? Because I know it already happened and I missed what it was.
It was fight. Fight.
Okay. Can I try to restrain Faisal with my rope, like actually tie him up?
Yes.
Okay. What's the domain?
High or low society.
Can I argue that he gets to burn bridges here because he's doing
I don't
this
need
on
it.
behalf of
I already have mastery in fight.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You
bet.
can't take double mastery.
and,
so
and you can't take 2 masteries.
No.
Okay.
Pull out the pin and just poke him.
Yes!
This was still
Oh my god!
at difficulty, but it's still a success. But it will drop it into success that you take stress on.
Okay.
So,
Oh, God.
but it's just 1 because
It's okay. He's
oh,
at
wait,
3 now.
You're
So he's
Oh,
it
right.
doesn't affect you, right?
Sorry, I
The dice roll being lowered,
Correct.
right? Okay. Because you're working around Rick and against Faisal's difficulty, which we've established the working around somebody in the same square. Hey, I'm
Absolutely.
rolling D3 threes all over the place. So you take 3 to blood. The injuries that you have been sustaining as you're trying to do this, and he's fighting you, and I mean he's not like super fighting you, but it's just
You did get like
Yeah.
a crossbow bolt into your head.
that and like now you're doing this, and like everything's shit, and you're trying to work around Rick, and somehow you just end up poking. I would say poking yourself with your dagger, but then you would die. So we'll say cutting yourself on Faisal's sword as you're doing this.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, my dagger isn't really. I have my rope.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take D3. So how much stress are you at now? You're 6?
6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. Okay, I was gonna say nobody's taking Fallout yet because of Minrise.
By the way, we are absolutely like killing these guards. Like when this is all said and done, they can't escape. We're not letting them tell people that.
This
we're
is a
having
no
this
win
fight.
this situation, y'all.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I barred the door like I was supposed
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, 100%.
Wow, all
Okay.
the plans Minrai made really are happening, huh?
You're going to take
Yes, they are. I know that was
The-
late, but I was just basking in it. All my groups forever. I'm like, you're over.
You're going to take blood, like bleeding is your Fallout. This is until you get proper medical care each time you make an action. Mark 1 stress against blood. I am going to add to this that because this is technically a minor fallout, but you suffered moderate. It's just the one that best fits what happened. So I'm going to upgrade it a little. I'm going to add to this that you're going to take that 1 blood on your turn no matter what from now on. And the longer that, like, that there is like a terminal point where like the blood loss will cause you to pass out. So every time you ignore this, you're getting closer and closer to the point where like you will pass out from blood loss. And that's for me to know and you to find out.
Oh boy.
So
how much stress do I lose?
You lose, I think, 5. Let me it fallout. 5.
And can that be from anywhere?
That can be from anywhere.
Okay.
Nice.
And then at the very end of my turn, I'm going to look towards Rick. And you had said something about fucking his mind?
This is exactly the bondage that I was planning.
All right. Hennis's turn. Minrai.
Yo, what's going on? Is it my turn?
No, I was saying your name so I could hear the beautiful sound of it in my own ears.
Hey,
I mean, it really I don't blame you. You know?
Wait, so Hennis didn't one-shot kill the boss?
No, he tied him up with a rope, right?
Yeah,
so that we can convert him to our...
Oh shit, it's happening.
group.
Okay. Well, does that mean there's a guard getting away? Can I go stop the guard that's trying to leave?
No, the door's closed.
The door's barricaded.
The door's barricaded.
I'm gonna kill this guard.
Weren't you in the room?
I mean, can I step around and just kind of run out and try to make sure that nobody gets out now that Faisal's
Go
tied
for
up?
this one. This is the one that tried to attack me.
I don't care. I want the one that might leave.
All right, yeah.
Are you implying that my door barring wasn't good?
I'm implying that there's a guard at the door that is barred.
Minrai also doesn't necessarily know what's been happening in the hallway, so whoever Minrai goes for is who she goes for, and it's the one at the door.
I also don't have access to my weapons.
So what are you doing?
Great question. A wonderful, well-formed question, Elise. How did you get so good at asking questions?
I was a teacher for 8 years.
Hey, that's a good point. I'm gonna okay, can I grab this person and kind of do like that whole grapple thing and like throw them away from the door and be like, get them, boys, like at Barnabas?
Yes.
Okay.
That will be fight and low society.
Cool beans. Love it. Such a big fan. Okay, I'm on the page. I think I'm like, I'm 60 now, y'all. Crit.
Yeah, you can't. You grab and throw this person over here. You can also inflict 1 damage to them.
I do so.
Okay, guard 1 takes damage from being thrown.
I believe that it is time for you to take a seat, friend.
You just chuck him over the desk? Is that what happened?
I yeeted, yes. I grabbed him. He was in front of me. I grabbed him and yanked him over the desk and threw him backwards. Away from the door.
Okay. Kelvy. Remember, you are you're not doing so hot right now.
Not.
If you attempt to do something physical, there will be a penalty. Like,
Great.
not like you'll necessarily take damage, but like you won't, it will be much harder for you.
Sure. So Faisal's tied up right now?
Yes.
Great. So Kelvy is going to walk up to him. Rick, before you do your thing, I'm gonna, and then I take off Faisal's mask.
Okay.
Fuck yeah!
And because, I'm sure all of my insideies are my outsideies right now, I'm going to open his mouth and I'm going to spew some blood in there.
What are we? Thought we're converting him.
Converting him twice.
No reason why you can't be the servant of 2 masters. And I just pat him on the cheek.
But if he's Vince, he'll want to.
Now
He'll
remind
have
me,
more
if someone
reason
ingests blood from you, do they get a resist roll?
They get a resist roll, yeah, and if they fail, they will become viscant.
This tracks.
A 6 is a success.
This isn't at difficulty because he's restrained?
He's resisting essentially like a poison or virus effect. I don't know that restraint really impacts that. He spits out the blood.
Make him lick you.
But I mean, this is your first time also, like, you have unmasked him. This is your first time seeing Faisal's face. Keep in mind that for high elves to be unmasked, especially in the presence of not, like, their spouse, their children, their parents, like, even in those contexts, they almost never take off their masks. Like, some people, like, there are cases of high elves who, like, never know their spouse's, like, face because they never take off their masks, right, around each other. So his face is, he is a high elf. He is not another in disguise someone.
All the high elves are just drow in disguise.
And
that would be horrifying if that was the
fucking
case. Like, it was drow oppressing other drow.
They're all the high elves have actually died, and everybody who's in high elves now is just like are drow and humans, like pretend. And none of them know, right?
They're all goats. How could we never see it the whole time?
They're all goats with
Faisal
thumbs.
was a goat.
It's just goats stacked on top of goats with thumbs.
Yeah.
So he has like a very ashen complexion, which is a bit unusual for a high elf, and just very kind of gaunt features, almost as if he's coked out all the time, and his eyes are very strange. They seem to, unlike most elves, instead of having like a clear pupil or whatever, it's kind of yellowish golden all the way across, which is unusual but not completely unheard of. A lot of elves, high elves, like do body modification things along these lines. Though why with a mask on all the time, who can say? And there's also like a scar across his cheek. So this is kind of just unusual, but not really. Yes, thank you, phone.
I feel like we know where that scar came from.
And this and he does spit out this blood, and he is bound with ropes, and yeah, I think let's
No. No. We said we were in it.
Finish the fight.
We
At
said
least said let's. At
And-
least just said let's pick this up
I'm
next
still
time.
being
in
shot
her
at
mind.
by
we're
guards.
finishing the fight. The Faisal is incapacitated, which means he will not be taking turns.
I am surprised that none of you are reacting in character to Kelby trying to make Lord Faisal abyss.
I'm not in the
people
room.
who wanted to annihilate our apartment so they could summon a demon queen from our
I'm not
basement.
in the room.
It's Barnabas's turn.
Like,
Um,
people are just cool with it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I heal when I eat flesh. Would it heal Sweet Pea when she does it too? Because she's my super cool magical hyena.
She is a super cool magical hyena, Elise. This is. I think you're gonna have to bend the rules here a little bit.
Yes,
to see.
it will heal Sweet Pea.
Okay, so I'm gonna send Sweet Pea over here to eat this guard's body
Okay.
to get some heals.
Uh-huh.
And then, you know what? I'm gonna go with her. We're gonna have a nice meal together.
Okay. How much stress are you removing?
I just feel like real upset, and we need to take a breather and heal some. So
You've got to wonder what that guard between you and Minra is thinking right now.
He's
And
thinking.
What does
we
it
should
say
do 9.
about how much
It is you that
I get to determine?
decides.
Okay, so this is one round of action. I think let's just mark 3 off as like in the like minor fallout. Like let's not roll for it. Let's just mark 3
Okay.
off for both you and Sweet Pea. So Sweet Pea is down to 1.
The 0. She only took 3, I thought.
Took 4. No, she took
She
3.
rolled a 3.
She
Yeah,
took
you
3.
rolled a 3, yeah.
I'm
like- I'm down to 2.
down to 2. Okay,
So Sweet Pea's at 0, I'm at 2.
cool. Okay, that's your turn.
Yeah, I just thought, Faisal's in there, they're taking care of him. The guards are I just didn't want to be shot again while I was at 5. So
Yeah. Rick.
I believe in you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, Sweet Pea ate the heels of the person, okay? I'm sorry. Heels for heels. Heels for heels. I see it.
Rick stares into the naked face of Lord Fuckwad, and he says in the most benign voice, "Have you ever heard of our hidden mistress?" And
Oh, spooky. Welcome to Halloween, everybody.
fucking yes!
Oh, now that's a fucking roll right there.
Will you please explain what this roll is for?
Shit! No, sorry, Elise. This was supposed to be you. Roll it.
Okay.
Hidden.
I'm not taking that away from you. Are you fucking kidding?
Yes.
I do need you to not metagame it, and Rick does not know what Sam knows, but you just rolled a crit success on your high advance.
That is some
that's fucking
spicy
cool.
shit right there.
Okay,
Yep.
So will you please, tell people
Oh my god.
what just happened, or what the ability that you just used was.
I place my hand upon his head and just peer. And as I do, my consciousness drifts directly into his. And I look at all of the relationships, all of his life's histories before him, and I Thanos snap them.
Oh my god.
and instead, in their stead, I place the strongest of wills to support our hidden mistress. And he knows that he has to do this in secret, and he knows that our likes cannot come to any further harm as Drow, and that he needs to do this in such a way that he won't get caught or else he'll die. Furthermore, he knows that he needs to come and see us in about 6 months to pay the ultimate sacrifice to the only thing that he cares about, which is no longer his reputation as he once thought of in the previous minutes. No, it's just his god, our beloved hidden mistress.
Welcome to the ministry.
Yeah, welcome to the ministry.
So would Minrai still have to do the thing?
We
don't actually know
yet if you were successful.
Right.
Yeah, so you're gonna go ahead and perform your thing.
Yeah, I'm still fighting a guard.
Yeah, but you can hear what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean I can,
you
but
know
I'm still
that he
fighting him.
Next in the order for combat is Guard 1, who is going to fall to his knees and hold up his hands, dropping his weapon and saying, "Please, please, please, I don't want to die for this, please."
Is that the one in front of me?
That's the one in front of you.
Okay. Can I take a turn? Since he's surrendered to me essentially?
No, you can take a turn when it's your turn. Guard 3 is ducks around the corner. You can hear him going, "Fuck, shit, God, fuck," because he has seen Barnabas eating Guard 2.
Just turn around his dead friend and poker. It's just like
and he he will throw his gun out in the hall and say like, "I don't want, don't eat me, fuck," and like is hiding himself in here, essentially. But has
eat you
dropped
in the end eventually.
Yes.
I forgot that I not only did I need to roll for that attack, but I also need to roll D6 stress.
Oh, yeah.
After casting.
Okay.
To yourself or to him?
To myself.
Okay.
Roll for an attack.
Well,
the thing that you did, and now you're rolling D6 stress for it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
yes.
have to do that after casting.
Go for it.
Is it
Roll
mind or
that
blood?
D6.
It's I believe it is to mind. But let me double check. Slavish devotion to the hidden mistress.
I really don't like that word in that context because it does imply that like slaves were, like willfully devoted. I know that's not your fault. That's the book's fault, and I just think we should use a different word. Like,
well, I mean, technically, like I did enslave him though. Like this wasn't him willfully
yeah, but like
doing.
slavish devotion. Like suggest
Yeah.
that devotion
The
comes
two
from like
terms don't work.
Yes.
Should be fanatic devotion.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, fanatic. Yeah,
I'm yes. But anyway,
Yeah,
I think fanatic devotion might be what
Or
we're looking
zealot.
for. Yes, zealous devotion.
Zealous. That's the word I'm looking for.
You must mark it to cast, and even if you succeed, you must mark D6 stress.
Right.
It doesn't say what, so I would assume to mine.
Silver. You
If it's
throw
mind, does it get
points
reduced?
at his brain.
Fuck.
Ah,
If it's
you're
to
dead.
mind, does it get reduced?
You're dead. buddy.
I don't.
God. I want to say yes, but also I
I'm-
want to say this is like one of those things. It's just like you take it.
If I go out, this is how I go out, guys.
Yeah.
I
You did
I
just
feel
convert
like
five.
so. Andrew, is the one that you used a moderate advance or a medium advance or a high advance? Because your high advance is the one hit kill, right?
Yes, it is not a high advance, but it is
Okay.
divine. It comes from the god in my armor.
That's a sentence.
Right?
I think that this magic is bigger than that magic, and Rick is going to take
Okay.
roll 5. Yep.
Mhm.
To mind.
Yeah, so I'm at total stress of 11. I think I died.
What if Rick straight up fucking dies because he changes Faisal over?
That's a valiant death.
And
And we will eat his
Yeah,
body. or
so
he will,
Rick,
at
you're
least.
going to take severe fallout because there's no way to roll. It's 10 or lower, which is on a D10 impossible.
Minrai, don't you have another thing?
It's once per session,
I
boss.
thought you had a different kind of thing. Tell me.
Can't you vomit mind stress?
Yeah, can't you vomit?
But she would have
Mind
to take the
stress?
mind
if
stress.
if it's
So take it. I'm sorry, I'll
I
stop yelling.
can't.
Take it.
She can't.
Rick has to die. It's the way it is.
No.
Okay.
That's the way things
So this
go
is severe fallout, and this is
What if you're just like forever like crippled? Like you can't like you're catatonic for life. You're just
and it's
like a
mind
vegetable.
stress.
I like that's worse than death. Like honestly.
We'll keep you in the apartment. We'll keep you updated about how great things are going.
This is a hard moment, Minrai. Be kind.
And if it's permanent, I actually do have a cocoon advancement that can undo mind stress if you are still alive at the end of it.
Okay.
So keep that in mind.
Here is how we're going to do this.
But if you die, it's over.
You take you take severe mind stress from this. And you immediately pass out. And when you wake up, you are not here anymore. Rick, you are sitting in a pitch black expanse.
oh,
There is nothing below you or above you. There are not even stars.
Do I have anything on my person?
You are in your Lejean robes. And otherwise, no.
Do I have the ability to cast moonlight?
You do? Do you?
I think it comes a second nature to me. Like I'm in a dark place, I
Oh,
can't see
God.
anything.
You
I'm gonna
cast
cast
moonlight. And this bright white moonlight lights up this expanse, and it's not that the darkness goes away, it's that a light is introduced there, and you can see that there's just nothing to see. It is an abyss, but not necessarily one that feels like a yawning, terrible, horrible, like otherworldly abyss. In fact, there's something about it that feels a little bit comforting, familiar, almost like that meditative state uh, when at your best and most devoted to Limye, you feel completely absorbed into her presence. And as you cast Moonlight and you see that there is nothing around, you are looking to see if, I mean, just by second nature, your eye wants to land on something because it must, right? And you're looking and you're looking, and when you turn back around, there is now the moon in front of you. And you see the moon, it is full and it is bright and it is familiar. And you see it start to rotate and it disappears into a dark moon, right? The dark side of the moon. That you know it's there. You can see the kind of outline of it against your own moonlight cast in this kind of circle around it. And these are the two faces of the god that you have devoted yourself to, Limye and Lombre, the glorious lady and the hidden mistress. And then as the moon continues rotating around, when it comes back into view, it is blood red. And in its blood red state, you see the third face of the deity of the moon, Lakole. And as you kind of see this blood red moon appear before you, Lakole speaks to you directly and says,
is it like in my head?
It's all around you. It is in the cavernous space that you are in that is nothing. It's hard to say. It's as much in your head as it is in your ears. It's in your body. It's in your soul. You're hearing it everywhere. And Lakole says, I have seen your service to the bright side of me and the dark side of me. I would see your service not ended if you devote yourself to me and me alone, being just Lakole. I will return you. You think you are dead, and this is an offer from a goddess you have never worshipped, who is the kind of, if ministers are freedom fighters or terrorists, depending on who's asking, devotees of Lakole are straight up terrorists. This is the offer of go back to serve me, the goddess of revenge and bloodbaths and destruction and hate against your oppressors. Not just hiding in plain sight and doing your best to subvert and alter. This is an offer you can choose. This is a bargain for your life.
Lomre, was it?
The Lakole is this one.
Lakole, I have heard of you. studied you, I find to the reason as to why I haven't devoted myself to you. I don't know. May I ask you a question?
Ask.
Would the other sides of you want this of me?
Instead of an answer, you feel Lacole reach into your mind and pull up a memory of a book that you read recently. And in that book, you recall the idea of not 3 goddesses, but 1 goddess, Damnu.
Yes, Damnu.
And the message here, it's not a direct answer, but the message seems to be, what is me is them. What is them is me.
You have to forgive me. The only experience that I have with your followers is not exactly the kindest to the drow and to other worshippers of the different sides of Damnau. But if this is the purpose of the unified God, maybe I've been too blinded by my upbringing, too blinded by what's immediately around me to really see the truth. I look down at my gems that were once emitting moonlight, and I see the red refracted in them. I look up. I accept.
As you say, I accept, you immediately feel a fury. It feels like a righteous, divine fury, lit in your heart in a way that I don't think Rick has felt incredible grief and anger. But the memory of your lost, your murdered partner.
Morphin.
What was it?
Morphin.
Comes to the forefront, and you see Morphin's pronouns. He, him?
They, them.
They, them. You see their face clear as day in front of you, in front of your eyes. You know that this is not actually them, but you see them before you. And that fury that lights there is one that it feels like has been lit by Lacole, not just your own rage at the unjustness of this death. And you hear her voice say, commit to bloodshed. And you come back to yourself in the room. Your friends bent over you, worried about you, wondering what's happened to you. It seems like maybe a few seconds have passed in all this time. And as you you look down at the gems that you had used to cast moonlight before, and they are, in fact, rubies now, blood red. And you see them and are reminded that of this fury deep in your chest. And you are now strictly devoted to Lacolay, the Crimson Vigil. And we will pick up there next week. Oh my god, we have to stop here. It's 10:30. We've gone an hour over. So
That was wild. Hey, you're not dead.
You're not dead. Just your entire goal in life and your point to existence has changed.
Yeah, and here's the real bad news is that I definitely can't undo that with a magic cocoon, so
oh god. A magic cocoon.
Before
Yes.
we hop off, so tonight's more or less the finale, and then like epilogue will probably comprise next week.
Yes, we'll do falling action of what happens with a bound and now devoted to our hidden mistress Faisal next week.
But as we see what the hell happens there, I did want to super thank on stream you, Elise. This was my first ever long form campaign. Maybe it wasn't intended to be so originally, but that's what it's become.
Sorry. Thank you all for bearing with that.
And I am so utterly grateful. It's been an amazing thing for me to look forward to every week amidst all of this fucking shit going on right now. And like the longest campaign that I had been in to date was one that I ran, and it was a 5-session thing. And so this has just been incredible, and to like for it to be coming to an end now, it's a lot of feelings, but definitely one very strong one is just gratitude and appreciation for you putting this together and making such an awesome story for my character to be able to shine in a very red light at the end. Yeah, thank you so much, Elise. I love you. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Elise.
Well, it has been honestly my pleasure. This is even when I like have 30 minutes between like finishing dinner and like running downstairs to be like, what am I even gonna do tonight? Like every time I'm like stressed out about it because I'm like, God, I'm failing as a GM. My poor players are gonna be like, why don't you ever do better? And then it's just like I log on and y'all are like the joy of my existence. So the feeling is mutual. You make me laugh and smile so much, and it's always a thing that refills my cup, even when so often social things drain me because I am an introvert, but this does not, and I love that. We should wrap up. We should let people go. We're an hour over time. Thank you so much to everybody who stuck with us, including everybody who plays, but especially our East Coast people. It is pushing midnight for you, so thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for kind of our falling action of like what happens in the immediate aftermath of Rick's revelation and Faisal's and Rick's suddenly new devotion to new gods. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves, besides just hydration, but also like, roll good resist rolls, because it's just going to be an onslaught for a while, and we've got to do what we can to take care of ourselves and each other. And in that light, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for our final episode or session. Then
final session asterisk.
We are going to talk about what it would look like to move forward and to kind of see where we could go. But no promises yet on what exactly that's going to look like. But we have a chance to actually talk it over. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for sticking through, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.